Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, chat. We're back. We're back. And today we're continuing the same train. The donkey goose gravy train. And I just figured out, I just saw that Antoine Semenyo got traded to Man City, so I'm probably gonna make a video about that. But this is my thoughts on that. I'll just show y'all my thoughts on that quickly. Just call him a hard R. You giving him number 42? Call him a hard R. Might as well. Might as well. That's what I think about that. But today we got some things planned. We got a little schedule today. Today we're a little bit more prepared for the stream than the other stream. We're gonna be reacting to the Trae Young trade. We're gonna be also getting into Shy's game, what makes him such an amazing NBA player, getting into Jason Tatum's game, getting into Anthony Edwards' game, and Jalen Brunson. We're gonna end it off with Jalen Brunson. So, without further ado, welcome to my channel. It's your boy Jacob Jordan live. If you're rewatching this, get some popcorn, get some chicken, get a bacon, egg, and cheese for my New Yorkers. Get a empanada for my Latin people, my Spanish people. Get some sushi for my Asians or some sweet and sour chicken. I hope that's an Asian dish, man. I hope I'm not being racist. But listen, man. The whole point of me saying this is just get comfortable. Get comfortable. Because we got a lot of things to react to. A lot of things. So, without further ado, because I just woke up like 30 minutes ago. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Without further ado, we're gonna start off with the Trae Young trade. We're gonna start off with the Trae Young trade because I know this is big. This is big. So, apparently, Trae Young got traded from the Hawks to the Wizards. So this is a part of me catching up with the NBA because I don't even know which is the better team right now. In 2026, I don't know which team is the better team. I don't know if the Hawks is a better team than the Wizards. I don't know who is more prepared to go on a deeper playoff run. And this is why this is why I'm catching back up. We're going to be checking out Kenny for real because he's actually Kenny for real. Am I right, people? But yeah, we're gonna see what's up with them. Yeah, I've always liked Trae Young because of his celebration. He had like this celebration before it got colonized by Cole Palmer. But I was always a fan of Trae Young. Thought he had a cool celebration. I thought it was pretty clutch. I thought he was gonna be the next Stephen Curry. I thought he was gonna come in. I thought he was gonna come to the league, snatch Curry's chain, because he was really bombing from three when he first came into the league, shooting from deep. He was doing some prime Curry stuff. He had like off and on prime Curry highlights, but the consistency never really came through. You know what I mean? He's not really the chosen one. He's not the Lisan Al-Gaib like we thought he was, and that's okay. You could still be a top 5 shooter in the all-time of the NBA. That's still very impressive. So, without further ado, let's get into Kenny's video. Drop him a like. Y'all drop him a like. Go to Kenny's shit. He's a smaller YouTuber. Tell him, yo, send him some love. You know what I'm saying? Send him some love. Help him get his shit to 1 million. You know what I'm saying? Tell him I sent you there.
Has been fulfilled, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at what's happening on Twitter and trending right now. It says no picks. Trae Young was just traded to the Washington Wizards for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert, and that's it. That's it. We knew this was going to happen, right? We've known for like 8 hours at this point that they were just trying to figure it out. And now I'm trying to figure out, why did it take 8 hours if there was no picks involved? In my mind, they're negotiating protections on picks, and that's why we've been waiting. No, maybe it was done hours ago, but they want to wait.
Maybe that's what happened. Actually, maybe they were actually talking picks, and the Hawks found a way to convince Washington that they don't need any picks. They're getting like Trae Young as I don't know.
Atlanta Hawks are still playing right now. In my mind, it's like, well, we're just gonna wait for both of their games to be over. Nope, the Atlanta Hawks are still rolling as we record this episode, but it's done. The Washington Wizards emerged as a trade suitor for Trae Young, and then Trae Young added him to his list of teams. So again, we've known it was going to be done. So much so that Shams Charania has a goddamn Photoshop. Usually, if there's going to be true breaking news that nobody was expecting, Shams don't have time to get that Photoshop. He got to get that tweet out. But he had somebody in the ESPN graphics department said, put Trae Young in that ugly ass jersey, and they said, "Bet we got you."
Yo,
and now he plays for the Washington Wizards.
You think the jersey ugly?
Insane. Even though
I don't think it's bad.
Happening. Trae Young is 27 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He's one of the greatest players in Atlanta Hawks history. He's like top 5. I'm not going off the top of my mind, but like Dominique and Bob Pettit and Dikembe, Pete Maravich. Okay, that's 4 already. Lou Hudson, maybe not. Maybe he's like top 6, top 7, right? He's one of those top guys in the history of the franchise. He's only 27 years old. And he basically, I just got to check my phone real quick, just make sure this Shams notification ain't nothing new. It's not. He basically just got salary dumped at 27 years old. They traded him away for an expiring deal. That's where their head was at. They were so fed up with the Trae Young era that they salary dumped him and didn't get any draft capital in return. 2 years ago, if I would have set you down and said, hey, man, you know that guy Trae Young that just led the league in assists and in scoring this season? Well, he's about to get traded. You're going to ask me to who, for one. You're going to ask me how many picks? Is there protections? Is there swaps involved? And I'm going to have to sit you down and say, no picks. That's crazy. That's crazy, y'all. But that's the real life.
Let me know in the comments. Is that really crazy? Is that because, like I said, I haven't been in the NBA for a while. I know picks. I know trades are becoming like a very strategic part of the NBA now, right? Because it really helps with rebuilds and all of these stuff and turning our favorite teams back into championship contenders and stuff like that. But I'm getting back into it, so I'm learning slowly like how the negotiations go now in this era, in the 2020s era. Apparently picks is very important. You could protect them now. You could trade picks. Yeah.
Nature of this.
Niggas just treating trades like it's cards.
It says, the trade ends. Youngston is the face of the Atlanta Hawks to send the 27-year-old to his preferred destination in the nation's capital. Top Wizards official Michael Winger and Will Dawkins have searched to anchor their young talent in the next step of the team's development. And we're going to talk about that in a second because I don't want to toot my own horn, but I literally pitched this to the Wizards on this channel. Before anybody was talking about the Wizards being suitors, I said the Wizards should trade for Trae Young right now. And then 3 days later, they traded for Trae Young. Again, for every right prediction I have, I got 37 wrong ones. But I'm going to take my
So you telling me the Wizards are taking trade advice from a YouTuber, my nigga?
Like I win all the time. Next one. The Hawks are poised to turn the page on a new era with the emergence of Jalen Johnson and others, bringing a much more fluid style of play around their wings. They say, Trae Young, you're a ball stopper, bro. Shams Charania just said you don't pass the ball. In the floor of the offense, you only pass the ball for assists. That's not my words, that's Shams Charania's words. McCollum serves the valuable plug-and-play veteran while holding $30.6 million expiring deal, which is true. CJ McCollum is definitely plug-and-play. And I actually kind of like him on this team. Not an expensive Trae Young, but we're going to talk about that. Moving Young also provides Atlanta with the added financial flexibility to pursue a large salary over the next several months, with Dallas Mavericks star Anthony Davis as a prime in-season trade target. So the Atlanta Hawks might not be done. Here's that buzzword. We just dropped a video like 6 hours ago about the world of aprons and the world of financial flexibility, and boom, the Atlanta Hawks.
I gotta start following Shams on Twitter
for the opportunity to maybe do something later. That's what financial flexibility is. We want the opportunity to maybe get something done hypothetically in a different world. You know, but it's done. It's done. All right, so let's talk about this from the Washington Wizards perspective, since they are the one getting in the Trae Young talent. In that video, where I pitched that they should be interested, basically, it was just process elimination, right? Looking at all the other 29 teams across basketball, should they or would they be interested in the Atlanta Hawks? And my pitch for the Washington Wizards is that this team right now has the young core that you care about as of today. Like, they got a lot of young players, and whether you care about a player can shift from year to year. We may have somebody down even mentioned on the roster right now as far as not being a part of the real core that can have an amazing offseason, and all of a sudden they're one of the best players. But between Sarr, George, and Johnson, those are the three I would say. It's some other young guys like Carrington started off poorly. He's starting to hit his 3-point ball a little bit more. But those three guys right there, I think, can benefit with the idea of Trae Young. This is a low risk, high reward. As we know, you gave up no trade cap. You gave up none of the players you even care about. I saw people saying, can we get AJ Johnson? Can we get
I'm going to pause this real quick right here, right? Because I don't even know what the Washington Wizards roster looks like. So what does their roster look like? Let's go here. Let's go to the official NBA, because I know sometimes Google is not all the way up. Okay, so Bilal Koulibaly. I don't know who that is. Tristan Vucevic. I don't know who that is. Cam Whitmore, don't know who that is. He's on the Hawks now. AJ Johnson, I don't know who that is. Jamar Whitkin, don't know who that is. Who are these niggas, bro? They just got a bunch of like. Okay, I know who Chris Middleton is. They got a bunch of like Marvin. I know who Marvin Bagley is. They got a bunch of like AI generated niggas, bro. This is the type of team you get after you hit like simulation for like 5 years in NBA, bro. Then you hit it again. This is what you get. But I know Chris Middleton will get you some buckets. I know Marvin Bagley, he should get you some rebounds, right? What's he averaging? 6 rebounds a game, sometimes 5, 10 points. But you getting out of Chris Middleton only giving you 10 points a game? That's nasty, dog. Okay, this Alex Sarr nigga, so he must be the starting center. You're getting 17 points out of him. Okay, so who's averaging the most points on this team? It's between CJ McCollum. It's not even CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum. Oh yeah, CJ McCollum. So basically, they get Trae Young to get more points. They want more points out of their guard, basically. And then And at least he has like I think he also got Sharif Cooper, but I'm pretty sure he got waived. So you basically have him, and then you have what's this nigga's name again? It's not AJ Johnson. Where was he? I was just looking at him. Alex Sarr. You have Alex Sarr. It's probably gonna be pick and roll hell coming between those two. He's French. Yeah. That's gonna be some good games between. Well, yeah, you already know. I know what I know from Trae Young's play style is that this nigga spams pick and rolls, bro. So he's probably gonna enjoy that.
Yeah, Whitmore and no, I mean, maybe those guys are just not straight up not good. Or maybe the Hawks didn't even have the leverage to even ask for one of the young guys. I don't know. But with the three young guys that we really care about, they've been able to look good. I just watched the game with Alex Sarr. I didn't watch their tonight's game versus the 76ers, but their last game against the Orlando Magic yesterday. Alex Sarr is like a man against a team that has a couple men on that team, a very physical Orlando Magic team. Alex Sarr looked great. He had a couple blocks down the stretch that I'm like, man, that's amazing. And then late in this game, he caught a lob from CJ McCollum, and I kid you not, in my mind, I was thinking, that's about to be Trae Young in a couple days. And now it will be Trae Young in a couple days. Yeah. So I think Alex Sarr could benefit from having a guard like Trae Young. I think that
he's gonna find him.
Some of the shots that Trey Johnson might be able to get right now will be elite because he's already one of the better shooters in basketball. And he shoot every shot from 30 feet out. Maybe he can get a 27-foot three-point shot now that Trae Young can generate some things. So it is a low-risk, high-reward. And Shamsharani has reported this yet, but I wonder, when I saw the report earlier this morning that the Washington Wizards had become one of the top teams for Trae Young, in my mind, he had to think
he's probably a shooting guard because he's 6'5".
On giving him the extension that he's asking for. Like, just, you know how Jimmy Butler got traded to the Warriors and they immediately had an extension on the table the first day. Maybe that will still happen, don't get me wrong. But in my mind, for him to want to go to Washington, given the situation, that would be the reason for it. The Washington Wizards don't have a bad core, though. And Trae Young is just like, hey, I'm 27. I can afford to be here for a couple more seasons and help these younger dudes. And in the hypothetical that they aren't giving him the money that he's asking for, again, this guy will be off your books in just 2 years' time, and I feel like it could be more beneficial than not. It's not without risk, right? I did say low risk, high reward, but there is some risk involved because, I mean, there's a reason why no other team was really interested. Part of that is we have point guard play already. The other part is, hey, this guy is one of the worst defenders in basketball, full stop. Even in the years or the games where he's really giving his all to compete, he's 6'1" and 170, I don't know how many pounds. It's just objectively hard to be a plus defensive player right there. He also is a guy that Shams Charania has talked about having more fluid of a style of offense without him on the court. He is a pass to assist guy and sometimes not just pass to get the offensive going. And he also doesn't move our ball. So there is the flaws within Trae Young's game, but you're asking yourself, is that worth it to take the shot on the guy that was just an all-star a couple seasons ago? Or maybe even last year. I'm getting my years mixed up. Yes, the risk is worth it. Because what is the likelihood from the Washington Wizards perspective that you can get a guy in the door of Trae Young's talent for nothing? It doesn't happen. To get a guy in the Trae Young's talent, you have to give up something of value. You didn't do that in this trade. Yeah. You have to give up a year's worth of time, which is tanking. You didn't have to do that. And you got a guy that is ultra talented. Now, can Brian Keefe put him and change his mindset that he's more of a benefit to this team? I don't know, but it's a risk that I would be willing to take if I was the Washington Wizards. And I don't even think this kills their tanking things. I mean, they have been a lot better as of recent. Let me see if I can look this up really, really quick. They had won like 6 games in their last 12 or something like that. I remember CJ McCollum quoted that tweet and, buddy, you're no longer on the team. In their last 2 weeks, they're 23rd in offense and 17th in defense. So you're like, Kenny, that ain't good. Well, when you think about them being 29th and 29th for the rest of the season, that is pretty damn good that you can get your defense up to about league average in 2 weeks' time. It's about to drop again. Damn, they just acquired Trae Young. But that offense should, in theory, get better. In theory, Trae Young should help some of these young.
He should definitely help the center out. The center's gonna help out, and then he does have some type of gravity where he on offense where he could pull a double team every now and then. And he kick it out to the shooting guard. But we're gonna see. I might just yapping. No, I'm not.
Guys develop. And if not, then you can just wash your hands of it in a couple years, and not even just a couple years. There's a world where like Trae Young comes to the team and it's awful. We hate it. Why did we trade for him?
There is.
We just watched the Milwaukee Bucks stretch a Damian Lillard's contract for like 2 years left. We saw DeAndre Ayton get his contract stretched. So it happens all the time, right? So he can opt into that contract. We can stretch it because it ain't like we have a lot of salary on the books anyway. Everybody else on our team is on rookie scale deals. So again, just such a low risk, and that's a win if you ask me. Now the Hawks. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you have to trade a guy like this talent. But the writing was on the wall for quite some time. You know, when they went on that West Coast road trip and they looked really good without him, they were defending. Jalen Johnson was playing amazing. And Kelsey Walker was putting up like 23s a night. It was like, oh, snap, what's going to happen with Trae Young? I bet they wish they would have been able to trade him earlier, you know, when it would have been something more valuable. But this really is a huge bet on their ability to go in and acquire another star player alongside Jalen Johnson. And it's also, if that's not the case, right? Let's say financial flexibility is the buzzword and they aren't able to go get Anthony Davis or one of the other bigger names that might be available. Yeah. You wash your hands and you still got a hella salary cap opportunities this offseason with a top whatever pick coming in. Oh, because we traded away the 11th overall pick for the Pelicans pick, and the Pelicans still can't win basketball games. So there's a world where this is A, for them to buy right now, or B, this is a world where they could just reshuffle the deck and say Jalen Johnson's only 24 years old and a lot of the other core guys over here are still young too, and we might have a top 3 pick coming in the door. So this could go multiple different ways. Again, on paper, it's going to seem awful to trade away one of your best players in franchise history for nothing. I see.
Yeah, but this is where I'm going to end the video. So we pretty much have an understanding for it now that it was technically... You know, it wasn't the best trade. The Washington Wizards could have gotten the best, could have gotten a little bit more out of it, but then again, it's not like they have crazy high ambitions. It's not like the team is in an amazing spot to like go on a playoff push. We learned that. Same thing with the Hawks. Seems like both of these teams are butt ass. You know, butt ass. But we're gonna see. We're gonna keep our eyes on at least the Wizards. I don't care about the Hawks now. I just looked at their roster. It was not moving me. But we're going to keep our eyes on the Wizards because I like to see Trae Young play every now and again. Subscribe, like, comment down below. I'm going to talk to y'all in the next one. Bang! Alright, cool. So now we got the Trae Young trade out of the way. Right? Let's go catch up on. Let's go catch up on Shy's game. Cause this is probably good. This is probably good for my catch up actually. Every franchise player in the NBA explained. Wait, this is probably a way better catch-up video. Hey.
The current fit.
I bet. So this is like... So this is like the perfect video for me. Right? Every franchise player in the NBA explained. We're going to be reacting to this video from ISO Jack. ISO Jack it off. Right? And we're going to be trying to understand the current state of the NBA. Because, yeah, I don't have to keep saying this. You know I'm getting back into the NBA. You know I want to know how the current state of the NBA looks. And this is the perfect video for me. We're going to be learning about the franchise players. We're going to be learning about the faces of the organization. Let's get into it. Everyone clap it up. Let's go.
Face of every NBA team, ranked and explained. LaMelo Ball. What a disastrous guy to have as the face of your franchise. Damn. Yes, he's electric to watch and Hornets tickets are cheap, so it could be worse, but he rarely plays, and worse is that I'm not sure he plays winning basketball. He's shooting 38% from the field this year. 38%. Meanwhile, Con Knuppel is looking spicy. Brandon Miller could be something legit if he can start shooting better than 40% from the field. So it's not all bad for Hornets fans. But LaMelo as the face, D tier. Scotty Barnes is a weird player, a point forward who defends everyone and screams constantly. If you haven't gotten a chance to see Scotty, do it. This guy is an absolute freak of nature. Physically, he's impossible to stop. He always makes the right play. He's always the best defensive player on the court, and he keeps getting better every season. I think he's got a shot at being an MVP guy in a few years. S tier.
Really? MVP caliber on Scotty Barnes? I saw a tweet about this nigga saying he looks like a character from Ed, Edd n Eddy. Hey, listen. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, bro.
Detroit has been looking for a savior, and Cade has finally answered the call. Being the face of the Pistons isn't easy, but he's already dragged them out of the basement. He's controlling the game and giving a hopeless franchise a real identity for the first time in years. That's what a franchise player does. He changes the culture just by playing. I might get some heat for this, but I truly think he's the top guy in the league right now outside of the big four of Jokic, SGA, Luka, and Giannis.
Wow.
Is the face
of really?
Okay. Brooklyn Nets, Michael Porter Jr. I don't know. Maybe it's Cam Thomas. But if you think it is, I'd look you in the eyes and ask, really though? Pretty sure they drafted like 10 rookies this year too. Claxton is doing things. I don't know, man. It's all a mess. Doesn't matter how much League Pass I watch these days, the Nets never make it on my TV. F2. If Nico Harrison is Voldemort, then Cooper Flagg is Harry Potter, the boy who lived forever intertwined with the most notorious villain in NBA history. After a slow start to his rookie season, the kid is starting to pick things up offensively. Defensively, he's already a star in the making. It won't be long until he's elite on that side of the ball. A lot of people doubt whether he'll ever be the #1 scoring option on a championship caliber team. I'm not sure I agree. He's technically still supposed to be a freshman in college right now. The kid is already special, and I think his offensive ceiling is higher than most give him credit for. A tier. The Portland Trailblazers are in purgatory, or so it seemed. Then Deni Avdija.
Now listen, I just got to take this guy's word for it because I don't know much about these players. But I will be making my own tier list, just like how he's doing right now with every franchise player in the NBA. Once I get up to speed on the NBA.
Became really good. Averaging 26, 7, and 6 so far this season on good shooting splits, Deni is a force to be reckoned with. He's got the Trailblazers sitting at a few games below 500 at the time of this video. They're not looking great, but man, they're a lot better than people thought they'd be so far. He's only 24 and getting better every year. I think the Trailblazers just found themselves a diamond in the rough. Ja Morant. It's not good, man. It's not good. I am officially petitioning for the street clothes nickname to be removed from Anthony Davis and given to Ja. And don't get me wrong, Ja is one of the most exciting players to watch when he's healthy and caring about basketball. Unfortunately, between injuries and off-court issues, that hasn't been the case for a long time. F tier. Jalen Brunson.
F tier?
Savior.
F tier? We giving, yo, this gotta be racist. This gotta be racist. This gotta be F tier for Ja Morant as the franchise player of the Memphis Grizzlies? Come on, man.
Of the New York Knicks. Him and the Nova Boys are one of the most fun stories in the league. Brunson is the king of taking weird, unorthodox shots and making them every time. The classic lefty. The question is, how far can he take the Knicks? They've got a sick roster, but I just don't believe Brunson can lead this team to a championship. For most NBA teams, he's a great guy to have as your best player, but he's just not in that upper tier, and it feels like he's already hit his ceiling. A tier. I wanted the answer to the Rockets to be Amen Thompson, one of my favorite players in the league right now. But in the business of being unbiased, I'm giving it to Şengün, the obvious answer. They call him Baby Jokic. I'm not sure I'd go that far, maybe fetus Jokic, but this guy can hoop. He's getting better every year, and he plays some serious winning basketball. He's the perfect centerpiece for a Rockets team filled with scorers like KD and Reed Shepherd. Amen Thompson in the dunker spot. This team is fun, probably my favorite League Pass squad. Alpi, A tier. The Zion Williamson question. Is he in Zion mode or Zion mode? When he plays, he's Zion, and more often than not, he's the best player on the court, an immovable force. But he doesn't play often. If I'm a Pelicans fan, which thankfully I am not, I'm pretty upset with this guy being the face of my franchise. If he can stay healthy, it'll be great. But if not, things are going to look very dark in New Orleans for years to come. However, it's not all bad. Trey Murphy is a baller. Derek Queen looks great. I'm loving Jeremiah Fears. They're not completely screwed, just kind of screwed. Zion, though,
kind of screwed.
The Sacramento Kings.
Damn, you got him on the same tier as LaMelo? This is insane.
I was struggling between Keegan Murray, Zach LaVine, and Sabonis on this one. The reality is that they don't have a face. Malik Monk gets buckets, though. F tier. Tyrese Halliburton is the most clutch player in the NBA. That can't even be contested. The Pacers are coming off an NBA Finals appearance, and without Hallie, they're by far the worst team in the NBA. I knew he was good, but I think we all underestimated his impact even after watching this recent playoff run. The Pacers are locked into being a highly competitive team for as long as Tyrese Halliburton is balling. That's the face most teams would trade their entire roster for.
Wow. So why you didn't put him as God tier? Why you put Tyrese at God tier? We're gonna get into Tyrese too, because I was seeing the memes last playoffs. The memes was going crazy on Tyrese, right? The internet loved this nigga. They love this nigga, bro. They seeing how the Pacers was doing black magic to get into the NBA Finals, and I saw the clips of Siakam rolling his eyes back. Yo, oh my God, bro. But listen. Shut up. I'm okay with it. I want to see this. I want to see it. We're gonna see. We're gonna catch up on Tyrese today because he's on the list.
Really broken out on the Bulls as a potential All-NBA player. He's proven he can be the maestro of a legit offense, and he's still getting better. His main knock used to be his three-point shot, but it's improved a ton. Not only has this helped his game, but it's also a strong sign that he really puts in that work during the offseason. This is exactly what Bulls fans want to see from the new face of their franchise. It remains to be seen how he'll perform in high-pressure moments against tough opponents, but he's been a welcome surprise in Chicago. B tier. Tyler Hero is a pure hooper. I love this guy. He's a total gym rat, and his game has improved every season. I know he's lost some hype, mainly because the Heat aren't in the spotlight anymore, but at only 25, I'm convinced he can be the best player on a competitive team. The Heat have other exciting pieces, and with Spo at the helm, they're always a threat for deep playoff runs. Hero averaged 5 assists last season, and he's improved his playmaking every year he's been in the league. If that trend continues, he's going to be in the spotlight as a legit rising superstar. His game kind of reminds me of Devin Booker at times, very smooth. B tier. Alongside Steven Castle, Alex Sarr is looking like the best player from the 2024 NBA draft. He's taken a huge leap this season and has finally given the Wizards the face they've been looking for. Sarr was elite on defense from the moment he stepped onto an NBA court, but at 7 feet tall, his field goal percentage was 39% in his rookie year. Big issue. This year, he's above 50%, and his three-point shot is also much improved. Notably, he's also taking less three-pointers. His game has matured, and he's not settling anymore. Sarr is only 20 years old, and the sky is the limit for him. He doesn't get a lot of coverage because he's playing in Washington, but I think we have a budding superstar on our hands. S tier. If you've watched my videos, you...
S tier. This is about to be an ad, isn't it?
No, I'm not the biggest Jason Tatum fan, but this tier list isn't about me. It's about the truth, and Tatum is almost as good as it gets. He's a pure winner, and he's shown that his entire career. My main gripe with Tatum is that his game leaves something to be desired in big moments. That's not to say he's
not
never
clutch,
because he has a ton of clutch moments, but he's very inconsistent in those moments.
I'm
not sure if this will improve, and with Brad Stevens...
He's like LeBron. That's like LeBron when he was like in his Miami era. Like, sometimes he's super clutch, sometimes he's not clutch. Sometimes he's super clutch. Or you could say Cleveland. Sometimes in Cleveland he was clutch, sometimes he wasn't clutch.
Continuing to make Tatum's supporting cast incredible, it might not ever matter all that much. S tier. Tyrese Maxey is pure joy. He smiles while dropping 50 points. In Game 5 against the Knicks in the 2024 playoffs...
So Tyrese Maxey is the franchise player over Embiid? What? When did this happen?
With the Sixers season on the line, he pulled up from the logo to force overtime. He finished with 46 points and saved
Yo, what's up, now?
That performance was a birth of a superstar moment. With Embiid constantly hobbled and Harden gone, Maxey became the new heart of Philadelphia. He's fast, he's fearless, and he's impossible to hate. A tier. The finisher operates in silence in Utah. He reinvented himself from a Bulls bust to an elite scorer. He's a 7-footer who shoots 40% from three and on people's heads. He just doesn't stop improving from year to year.
Yeah, this Laurie marketing.
Him on the Bulls, or even as far back as Arizona, I never would have guessed he'd take his game to this level. I thought he was just a soft, big guy with a ceiling like Kristaps. Boy, was I wrong. This guy is a menace. He's so good, he's preventing the Jazz from a full-on tank. A tier. Trae Young is the best villain in the NBA. He embraced it in the 2021 playoffs against the Knicks. He hit the game winner, shushed the Madison Square Garden crowd, and then took a literal bow at the center court. He's 6'1" and weighs 180 pounds soaking wet. Yet he walks around like
I saw the memes for Trae Young too. I saw that like New York basically hated this nigga. They saw this nigga, yo, come outside, Trae Young. Yo, Trae Young, after the game, see me in the parking lot. Niggas was talking crazy. Niggas was talking crazy, bro. But listen, I'm not against it. I like to see like rivalries like this. I like to see people stoke up the crowd, rage bait. I'm a rage baiter, so I love to see other rage baiters. Feel me? I've been seeing your shorts, bro. You that ass might get famous. Hey, appreciate the love, man. Shout out to you, man. You the GOAT. Shout out to you, gang.
He nutmegs defenders. He pulls out.
I've seen your shorts, bro. You dead ass might get famous.
Shot clock, which isn't always the best move. Yet his defense is a big issue. It's really that bad.
We just talked about this with the Trae Young trade video. Go watch that. But yeah, he's 6'1". What do you expect from someone who's 6'1", like what, 120 pounds soaking wet? Come on, man.
This might actually be better without him. There's a strong argument.
Stop trying to bully him.
Is really the face of their franchise, but I think you still have to say it's Trae.
Johnson
is balling hard though. C tier. Kawhi is one of the oldest franchise players on this list. Yeah. Somehow, with all his injuries, he's still incredible. He's been one of the best players in the league this season when he plays. Now, some of this has to do with his usage rate due to how trash the Clippers are, but still, the guy is unbelievable. However, as a face of a franchise, not so great. Clippers fans don't have much of a future right now, and it might make sense for them to shop Leonard, which could be difficult with Uncle Dennis around. D tier. Jokic is literally breaking the game of basketball.
Did you say D tier?
With Uncle Dennis around. D tier.
You said D tier, but you put him in God tier, bro. Make your mind up, bro. Is he D tier or is he God tier?
Jokic is literally breaking the game of basketball. When have we seen a peak this good? Be real. It's up there with the greatest of all time. Watch out for the Nuggets this postseason. Jamal Murray is even playing serious basketball early in the season. Unheard of for him. God tier. Giannis is a Greek god carved out of marble. The Bucks have struggled.
Yo, that was glaze. I ain't gonna lie. That was insane glaze. He's a what?
For him. God tier. Giannis is a Greek god carved out of marble. The Bucks.
Hey yo, what the fuck, bro? Calm down, buddy.
Have struggled putting together a serious roster the past few seasons, but this year things are looking up. I believe Giannis is the second best player in the NBA and somehow the most underrated player in the league. He's averaging 30, 10, and 6 on 64% shooting this year. What the heck is that? God tier.
64.
The windmill gather move he's been doing this season is absolutely electric. He's been the most clutch player in the league. He's having the best season of his career so far.
All right, so in terms of the clutchest player in the league so far, we have Donovan Mitchell, we have Tyrese Halliburton. I love clutch players, but I'm also terrified of clutch players because I don't want to play against my team. I don't want them playing against my team. Stay far away from my team. But I respect it.
The drawback is the wall he seems to hit in the second round of the playoffs. It's not like he doesn't perform well, but he's been unable to get stacked rosters into the conference finals his whole career. He still gives your team a shot every season. He's not in that upper tier, but he's pretty damn good. A tier. We all know Wemby is an alien and the guy with possibly the highest potential of any basketball player ever. He's still got a long way to go, which is scary considering how good he's been already. However, I worry about his ability to stay healthy. This is a drawback to having him as the face of a franchise. He's still elite, but he's not God tier, S tier. Devin Booker is
I'm saying you're bugging. I'm saying I'm putting Wemby God tier already. I don't care. Call me a glazer. I'm glazing Wemby. I'm glazing Wemby. I don't care, bro. I don't care if you call me a glazer, bro.
Being the face of a franchise requires more than just a smooth game. He's putting up numbers, but the Suns are completely lost right now. There's always a glimmer of hope for the team as long as they have Booker, but he alone isn't going to put them in contention.
D-Book,
he might
go to the Spurs.
I do love
Booker. D-Book, go to the Spurs.
Is that guy. He's completely unstoppable, and he came into this season in tip-top shape. I fear Nico Harrison might have put a chip on his shoulder that will change the course of NBA history. The Lakers look incredible right now. JJ has the boys balling. Reeves is crushing it. I think this team has a shot at taking down the Thunder. I'm not saying they will, but with Luka, anything is possible.
Okay, fair enough.
Ant isn't just a great player. He's a superstar personality. He is the most marketable face in the league right now.
Yeah. Facts. On God, yo, it's easy to put this nigga Ant in commercials because this is not even glazed. He's just charismatic, bro. Like, the nigga, he a funny dude. He comes off completely original, like himself. He's just himself. He doesn't box himself in for anyone. Just like me, I don't box myself in for none of you niggas, man. Y'all can get the full Jacob Jordan experience all in your stomach. Yeah.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
A swagger to Minnesota that they haven't had since KG. He wants the pressure, he wants the matchups, and the camera loves him. He's gotten better every season he's been in the league, and that doesn't seem like it's stopping anytime soon. When asked about bringing a championship to Minnesota, he said, "Don't worry about it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get fly as hell to where they can't stop me."
I like when you talk like that, Muddy.
S tier. Steph is the ultimate face of a franchise.
Yeah.
A legend who built the arena he plays in. But we're talking about right now. He can still sell out the building, but at his age, he's not
37?
the most ideal face of a franchise.
Yeah.
The Warriors are going to be stuck searching for that next guy soon, but at the moment, Steph is still doing his thing. A tier. SGA is the perfect modern face. Consistent, unbothered, and elite. He doesn't need to be loud because his game screams for him.
Yeah, I like when you talk like that, but yo, SGA is my guy, yo. SGA is my guy, bro. I love to see this nigga hoop, bro. He just got like that Kobe aura to him. That Kobe type of energy where it's like, yo, like, just like, yo.
Our culture around his work ethic and consistency. That's a cornerstone. The most ideal face of a team in the league right now, no matter what the haters want to say. God's tier. Paolo Banchero is the best player on the Magic unless you actually watch the Magic. Paolo is sidelined with a groin injury as I write this. They're looking great, and it's because they're moving the ball really well. Suggs and Bane have been great playmakers. Franz is doing his thing. Anthony Black has been hooping. They look a lot better without Paolo. I've never agreed with this idea that it's completely insane a team can be better without their best player. Sometimes the fit just isn't right. However, I'm open to being proven wrong here. Maybe getting a chance to watch the guys from the sidelines will allow Paolo to figure out how to fit in better. The man is definitely a baller. His potential is sky high. C tier. This is a
great video. This is a great video. Shout out to ISO Jack. Shout out to you, bro. This really informed me. So now I'm locked in on the faces of the team and which players to watch. But normally you just like they show you that you should be watching them, keeping them in form. Sigma 05 B60. Yo, shout out to you, bro. What's up, gang? But now that we know the franchise player of every NBA team, I know who to watch, right? And to be honest, my favorite players that I've been seeing, even when I stepped away from basketball, it's been SGA. I like to see Hallie play as well. I like to see Luka play. Who doesn't like to see Luka play? It's Luka and Wemby, bro. Not even and Wemby. I like to see Wemby play as well. And who's the last player on that list I like to see play? I'll just leave it at Wemby, bro. Wemby's a freak, bro. Right now, I'm deciding who my main team should be going into this, like going back into the into basketball, into the NBA. And I'm thinking I could either go with the Spurs or OKC. I don't care if you call me a bandwagoner for wanting to pick OKC, nigga. Yo, hold my nuts.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Hold it. Hold it. I don't care. I don't care. But it's between Spurs and OKC. Honestly. But yeah. Like the video, guys. Comment down below. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. You should have more subs, Sigma. We're gonna get all the subs we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. But hey, drop a sub while you're here, Sigma. Drop a sub while you're here. We're over here working.
You should have more subs.
You're over here working and shaking and jiving and that was supposed to be like a jab step, but alright, bro. Alright, so we went off course a little bit, but we're gonna be watching, we're gonna look for a video that explains why Shy is so good. It's either gonna be just did. I appreciate you, my heart. Appreciate you, my heart. We're either gonna watch a b-ball breakdown video or some analytic video on Shy. You know, Shy Gillis Alexander. Shy Gillis Alexander. Shy is even better than you think. It's like 24 minutes though. Give me like a 10 minutes. Give me like a 10-minute video. Like a 10-minute video on Shy.
Just did.
Because I want to understand his game, not just like thinking basketball. Why Shy so elite? That's an NBA. That they might. We're gonna watch this
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
We're gonna watch this video right here, right? But before I watch this video, I'm about to go get some from the kitchen. Just give me a second. I gotta go throw away these empty bottles of water. Just gonna get something that I could snack on. Make sure y'all get comfortable because when we get back, we'll get into this video. Get comfortable, get yourself a snack, and when I'm back, we'll get busy. We'll get busy.
Join the Discord, URL.
Yo. Alright, yo. Alright, y'all. I don't know if y'all still here. Shout out to people who are. We're about to get into this shy video. Let me do my little yap sesh intro. My little yap sesh intro. Alright. So here we are. Catching up episode 2. We're live right now on YouTube. Make sure you come in and tune into the YouTube lives. We do mostly everything here. We're not on Twitch like that. We're on YouTube. Right? And today we're doing a video on Shy. Yes, I'm familiar with how Shy plays basketball a little bit, but I want to understand the analytical side behind his game. I want to understand why his moves are so effective, as well as what I could add to my game, because I play basketball. You know what I mean? I could have made it to the league. You know what I mean? I could have made it to the league. You know what I'm saying? I could have been in the league. But, you know, I decided to take up YouTube and become one of the greatest at this stuff. So, without further ado, we're going to get into this video. Right now, I'm going to show you what I'm eating. We got, because I'm going to eat while I watch. I'm just like y'all. I eat while I watch YouTube. We're going to be having some baked chicken with some Alfredo pasta and some sauce all over the pasta. Ooh. Let's get into it, man.
Alexander is having one of the greatest seasons ever. And you know what?
Shout
I'll
out
be
to you,
more
Sigma.
specific. Shai's 2026 campaign is on pace to be one of the Mount Rushmore guard seasons, alongside peak Jordan, Steph, and Magic.
Wow.
The Thunder are 21-1 right now, off to one of the greatest starts in NBA history, on pace to shatter the record for best net rating in a season, clearly looking like one of the best teams ever, and somehow Shai, even as the reigning MVP, is still not getting enough credit in that equation, from my perspective. There's a tendency from a lot of people to focus first on OKC's defense, which is clearly at least one of the 5 best ever, and currently boasts by a wide margin the best relative defensive rating of the play-by-play era. It is...
Let me know. Looks bussin'. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. It is. But
Looks bussin'.
let me know in the comments, right? Who is the coach of the OKC Thunder? Because, yo, this man deserves flowers as well. Not just Shy. And their back office, or whatever, the front office, whoever gets the trades in and builds the team, the whole franchise is just, they're moving at a very legendary level right now. They're building one of the greatest teams we've ever seen. They have basically, you could call them the face of the NBA right now on a team. And then they have a coach that's basically built a system that gets them one of the greatest defenses of all time, and then gets the most out of their superstars. Shout out to them.
one of the most dominant units, period, in NBA history. But simply having Shai is every bit as essential to OKC's formula as that collective GOAT level defense. With him on the floor, they post an offensive rating 9 points better than league average, equivalent to the #1 unit in the sport. Despite the fact that Jalen Williams has only played 3 games, and as their offensive rating plummets by about 17 points when Shai is off the floor. He is carrying this offense in historic fashion for what looks to be one of the greatest teams ever. By every measure, by volume, efficiency, and impact, this is one of the greatest players we've ever seen. A player coming off of a strong MVP season who has gotten better in basically every way.
Damn.
Shai is one of the very best scorers in the history of the NBA. In fact, he's currently averaging the second most points on a per...
So the most points /75 possession ever by guard. 18-19 Harden, demon. Who, like, come on, James Harden's that guy. Wait a second. Shai is on this list twice? I didn't know he was this nice. Why is Curry not here? What team do you support? I'm still deciding because I'm getting back into the NBA. I dumped my old team. We broke up. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. And now I'm looking for a new team. And right now, it's going to either be the Spurs or OKC. And I know what you're thinking. He's a bandwagoner. Oh my God. He just wants to be a glory hunter. Yes, nigga. Yes. This is what you think I watch to lose? No, I want to see my team win. So I'm going to be a glory hunter. I don't care. And I'm going to do this with the NFL as well.
Possession basis we've ever seen from a guard after he already set what was the third highest mark ever last year.
What team do you support?
And I would argue he is the most complete on-ball scorer and the most efficient on-ball volume scoring guard we've ever seen.
Damn.
Shai is absurdly dominant as a driver and rim finisher, one of the best ever. With his unparalleled ball handling at his size, his slithery shiftiness that makes him nearly impossible to stay in front of, his remarkable ability to vary pace and stride lengths, and his elastic flexibility and superhuman balance, he is built to get to the basket no matter what. Capable of navigating the most crowded of paints masterfully, pirouetting to the rim with his Jordan-esque body control, where his elite size and length shine as he's 6 foot.
I know Shai was this good.
7-foot wingspan, as does his remarkable finishing touch and ability to manipulate spin and angles. He is all-time great in the paint.
Soccer and basketball.
You can't keep him out of the paint. His combination of unique athletic traits.
My football team is Chelsea, and my basketball team, we still deciding that. I just told you. And he's not a glory hunter. Yo, shout out to you, Sigma. We both not glory hunters, bro. We just like sports.
And supreme skills allows him to get wherever he wants on the floor, which also makes him extraordinarily difficult to guard without fouling, as he's currently attempting 10 free throws a game. That is very valuable, but the pure efficiency of his paint scoring is out of this world. Taking free throws out of it, Shai is still averaging over 12 paint points per game on nearly 65% shooting in that range. This is a testament to the fact that he is not only the best rim scoring guard in the NBA, but also a master of short range and intermediate shot making, capable of executing teams with jumpers
Twitter,
in the paint and
community,
from the mid-range.
URL.
Shai's incredible deceleration, supernatural ability to get extremely low to threaten a drive, only to then effortlessly spring backwards to create substantial space for a jump shot.
I must say, right, when I watch him play versus the Rockets, he was frying the Rockets. He had like a little bit of a slow start, right? I did the watch along with my boy CJ. Shout out to CJ. It's still here on the channel. It's live. It was a live watch along. But he was frying OKC. My boy CJ not OKC. He was frying the Rockets. My boy CJ is a Rockets fan. He grew up in Houston, though, so he's a Rockets fan by heart. And I was having so much fun just flaming this nigga because he thought that his Rockets was gonna beat my Thunder. Are you crazy? I might just go with the Thunder, chat. I might glory hunter, maybe. I don't know. You can't stop the rain when it burns the pour.
He is not a glory hunter.
I watch it. Shout out to you, Sigma. Sigma, you a real one. Sigma, you a real one, man. Shout out to Sigma, man. Shout out to my dog, man.
Flawless footwork and phenomenal pure shot making at his size means he truly has endless counters as a scorer, and it also makes him perhaps the premier mid-range scorer in the NBA today. He ranks top 5 in mid-range makes this season and hits those shots at an elite 49% clip, allowing him to reliably barbecue defenses in isolation, even if they load up the paint aggressively. This combination of top-tier paint and mid-range scoring alike is totally unmatched by any other guard in the NBA today, and it's the best we've seen since Michael Jordan. So Shai has cemented himself, in my eyes, as one of the 2 best inside-the-arc scoring guards in NBA history, along with MJ. In fact, he's on pace to have his 3rd season making at least 8 2-pointers per game on at least a 57% clip.
You support Man U? I'm a pray for you.
There's only one other such season by any guard in NBA history. But this year, Shai has upped even his own standard, making over 59% of his two-pointers, which would be the record for any guard at
Luka's
that
a
volume.
demon.
This ability makes Shai stand out even against the other best volume scoring guards of this century in one particular extremely valuable way: consistency. Shai's scoring floor is the highest of any guard, I'm going to say it again, other than Michael Jordan. And in fact, he's currently boasting a 94-game streak of scoring 20-plus points every game, by far the longest of any guard ever, and the second longest in NBA history, only to Wilt. He's on pace to have 67 games this year scoring 30-plus points, which would tie 87 MJ for the most by any guard ever. And he's on pace to have 75 games scoring 25-plus points, which would be tied for the second most by a guard ever with 87 MJ, only behind 88 MJ. Think about that. Shai has scored 25 or more points in 20 of 22 games, 30 or more points in 18 of 22 games. His two lowest scoring performances of the entire year each saw him get 23.
This just puts into perspective how ridiculous MJ is. MJ was literally like ahead of his time in terms of like his efficiency. He was ahead of his time. His records are still standing the test of time, like what, 40 years later? He's a freak. He's a beast. Luka and Shai on the same team would be great. That would be a cheat code. That would be disgusting.
Points on a combined 63.4% true shooting. The inevitability of his scoring brilliance is unfathomable, and it is Shai's inside the arc dominance that makes him so exceptional in that regard. In the modern NBA, most of the best guards rely heavily on their three-point scoring, which is great and creates these incredible scoring ceilings, but it does leave them susceptible to more variance, the possibility of going cold. James Harden, for example, probably the greatest ever at self-creating three-point shots at extreme volume, shot under 30% from three in back-to-back playoff runs in the heart of his prime, as he was putting up double-digit three-point attempts per game. There was simply no overcoming a three-point slump like that for him, given how huge a portion of his shot diet it made up. In stark contrast to that, Shai is a much more versatile and dominant inside the arc scorer. He can get himself a 90% free throw 10 times a game, or a 70% shot at the rim 5 or 6 times a game, or a 60% shot inside the paint but outside the restricted area, a floater or a short jumper 5 or 6 times a game, or a 50% mid-range shot literally whenever he wants, but he usually does so 5 or 6 times a game. You see how this incredible diversity and efficiency everywhere inside the arc makes Shai remarkably dependable. Like, Harden felt unstoppable at times, but he could also stop himself simply by missing a ton of higher variance shots. With Shai, there's no getting let off the hook like that. He can always get to a high percentage look on every possession and against any defense in a number of different ways. This is ideal, but it becomes especially valuable when you get to the playoffs or crunch time and margin shrinks. You don't have a 10-plus game runway for the numbers to average out big picture. You're facing great defenses loaded up on you, familiar with your tendencies in high-stakes moments, with every possession at a premium. So the best ability you can have is to be able to always carve your way to at least pretty efficient offense at huge volume in a variety of ways that are dependable and that the defense can't take away. Shai can do that like nobody else. As a testament to that, his clutch numbers this season are out.
Exactly. I always knew he was clutch. That's one thing. Like, all my favorite players, they've always been clutch. Kyrie, clutch. Cristiano, clutch. You understand? Like, all my favorite players always been clutch.
of this world. Shai is averaging 8.7
Luka and Shai on the same two would
which
be crazy.
Obliterate all previous records and is almost 3 more than the player in second place this year. And he's doing so on 70% true shooting. It's early, of course, but he's on pace for the greatest clutch regular season ever. So Shai's elite mid-range game is a key separator from others, but remember, it's just part of his exceptional scoring formula, working in tandem with the dominant paint scoring and consistently high free throw rate. And oh yeah, I haven't mentioned that Shai is also shooting over 43% from deep this year on 5 attempts per game. This is the final layer that makes him, as I said earlier, the most complete on-ball scorer ever. Shai has found an utterly terrifying rhythm from deep, knocking down almost 53% of his triples over the last 15 games and selectively hunting his genuinely unstoppable step-back three, which he's making at a better than 51% clip this year and for which he can create ample space at will. In fact, out of the 30 players who've attempted at least 50 pull-up threes this season,
the fact that he's getting
Shai
better
ranks second in efficiency
terrifying
on those shots. And this is the least elite aspect of his scoring arsenal. But it is an area he's clearly improved from last year when it was a clear area he'd improved from the year prior. It's just unbelievable. On every level, from any spot on the floor, out of pick and roll, isolation, Shai is defining effectiveness and efficiency as a scorer with relentless consistency. In fact, by relative true shooting percentage, that's true shooting percentage above league average in any given season, Shai currently has the second best mark of any 30-point per game guard ever at +9.
Yo, how much records is this nigga gonna break, bro? Or hunt? He's hunting all the records, bro. Shai, you're too good, bro.
9.4% relative true shooting, trailing only 2016 Steph. But here's the kicker. Shai is even more efficient than that number indicates because he is the greatest we have ever seen at valuing every possession by never turning the ball over. Coming into this season, Shai already held the record for the fewest turnovers per game by a 30-point per game scorer at 2.2. This year, he is averaging just 1.7 turnovers per game.
Look,
this
Michael
is
Jordan
a
again.
Genuinely incomprehensible number. Only Shai and MJ have ever kept turnovers to even 2.5 per game or lower while dropping 30 points a night, something each of them has done 3 times now.
Damn.
But Shai is now blowing even his previous record out of the water. And his mark is even more mind-boggling because compared to Jordan, Shai simply plays with the ball in his hands even more. He is, without question, the greatest ball handler of his size we have ever seen, with an extraordinarily controlled, tight handle that allows him to get wherever he wants on the floor while protecting the ball more effectively than any other player in the history of the game while taking on a historically large on-ball load. This is an important consideration when we discuss efficiency, which some people often treat only by looking at shooting percentages, but that's not what efficiency is. Efficiency is your ability to make the most out of every possession. Not only do both missed shots and turnovers equal an empty possession, but live ball turnovers are worse than missed shots because they more often lead to more efficient transition opportunities for opposing offenses. Turnovers hurt you more on the other end. So, when you combine his top 2 relative true shooting,
yeah, this guy is good.
30-point per game guard,
this guy's
with
good,
his
bro.
unparalleled value in the possession game, there is a very compelling argument that Shai right now is the most efficient guard to ever play the game. Now,
I'm gonna say this, right? Do I think he's the most efficient guard to play the game? Maybe. And this is what separates him from Kyrie. Because Kyrie was like, you could tell he was more infatuated with creating art with his basketball. Meaning he was highlight hunting. Shai is not highlight hunting. He is ring hunting. That's the difference right there. He is ring hunting. And he's building his game around being the most efficient at doing that. And that's more Kobe-esque than Kyrie. I'm sorry, Kyrie, I love you. Kyrie, I love you. I would love to do a stream with Kyrie one day. But I think Shai is going about this way better, bro. You should have been building your game around ring hunting, not... You know what I'm saying?
I'd still give the nod to 2016 Steph for that title, but Shai and Steph have completely different play styles. Steph is without a doubt the greatest off-ball weapon in the history of the game, but he has never had a comparable on-ball load to Shai's. His game has always been more of an even balance of on and off-ball play, which has made him a top 3 offensive player in the history of the sport. But again, it's just different. If we compare Shai to other volume scoring guards with huge on-ball loads, which applies to a vast majority of the best we've seen, just not the unicorn that is Steph, he does stand out as the most efficient ever. And this is the case not just in terms of his pure scoring, but also for his overall offensive output. One of the reasons Shai often gets underappreciated as one of the greatest offensive forces we've ever seen is because he doesn't put up huge assist numbers, and he's not a top-tier passer. Although he is a very good passer, having a career-best season in that regard, he's obviously not nearly a Luka Doncic level passer, for example. But Shai is so preposterously dominant as a scorer, so historically efficient at historic volume, while being the GOAT at protecting the basketball, that he can still generate the best offense for his team.
So basically he's getting into that territory where we could start to legit call Shai one of the great, like the GOAT at scoring, basically. The GOAT at scoring. The GOAT scorer.
Any of these great on-ball guards, even those who are clearly better passers. One reason for this is that defenses have to throw such aggressive coverages at Shai because of his overwhelming scoring threat that he doesn't have to make a ton of elite reads in a game to create a lot of great shots for teammates, which also means he can create for others while minimizing passing risk, which he does extremely well. His assist to turnover ratio alone is outstanding. And the other reason is that his self-created offense, his scoring, is just genuinely that exceptional, even up against the other great on-ball guards. Let me illustrate this more concretely with some numbers. First, let's compare Shai's current season to the best offensive seasons we've seen from the best contemporary on-ball heavy offensive guards. And let's strip efficiency down to its core. Offense created versus offense wasted. If we look at total offense created by a player through both their own scoring and their assist points created, and compare that to the empty possessions the player is responsible for through either a missed shot or a turnover.
Dame Lillard, I know Dame Lillard had such a great season.
Shai's ratio this season completely stands out against 26 Luka, 19 Harden, and 23 Dame. While those guys generate 3 or 3.5 points of offense for every possession they come up empty, Shai generates nearly 5 points of offense for every empty possession. He is creating an extremely similar volume of total offense while wasting much less. I like this as an intuitive visualization of efficiency. You only get a finite number of possessions each game. The entire goal of the sport is to maximize each one. Whichever team does that will win. So considering how much he creates, seeing just how rarely Shai comes up empty is pretty incredible, right? But now let's use a more precise measure of self-created efficiency, the most precise actually, and let's take Dame out of there and bring in the other 2 best on-ball heavy guards of this century, Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade.
Okay.
Let's compare the volume of self-created offense from all these guys. This includes all scoring attempts on pick and rolls, isolations, and post-ups, and we'll measure...
I'm telling you right now, Kobe's efficiency is going to be in the mud. Kobe was just, Kobe was a Chuck Demon.
This per 75 possession basis to make a slight adjustment for pace and minutes played. And let's compare the relative efficiency of that self-created offense, which we are going to measure by points scored per 100 self-created possessions compared to the efficiency of an average half-court possession at that time. Maybe that sounds complicated, but this is an important adjustment.
This is some nerd math right here, buddy. Just hey man, give us an easy number we can follow, man. you doing all this nerd shit, man. Give us an easy number, man. Oh man.
To make to be totally fair to the older guys who played in a less efficient offensive era. And it's really simple. We are judging everybody relative to the average efficiency of their time, as one always should. We're also going to use 2-year peaks across the board to get a larger sample size. Even though Shai's numbers purely this season are even crazier, again, we're being ultra fair here. But by this measure, we see that Shai is creating the third most offense for himself, but he is doing so on by far the best efficiency. When Shai looks to create for himself, he produces an offensive rating 14 points better than the league average half-court possession.
Look at James Harden, though. James Harden's efficiency was... Now, y'all can't even see Kobe's efficiency. Let me hide my camera so y'all can see Kobe and Dwayne Wade's efficiency. So, we see Harden. Harden's number 2 at 11.1. Kobe... No, Luka comes in at 3rd at 8. Kobe 7.8. I thought Kobe would be the lowest, and then Dwayne Wade at 5.5. I dead thought Kobe was going to be the lowest, but it's actually Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade was way less efficient than Kobe.
Remarkable, especially because this doesn't even account for the fact that he is the best transition scorer out of all these guys, with only Wade coming even remotely close there. But let's wrap that into it too, along with playmaking, and look at the relative efficiency
Kobe would have loved Shai,
of all possessions that each player is responsible for ending on any play type through a shot attempt, a free throw, a turnover, or an assist. These percentiles are among all players in the league at that time, and by this measure, Shai is once again producing the most efficient offense of any of these great guards. I know these may not be numbers you see every day, but they pull together huge amounts of possessions to create a comprehensive picture to illustrate the point I'm making, which is that if you just put the ball in Shai's hands, he is going to produce the best offense of any of these guys, not just for himself, but for his team as a whole.
I want to do a stream.
If we look at impact on a team scale by examining offensive on-off swings over these 2-year peaks, we see Shai just behind Wade and Kobe atop that category, causing a monumental change in his team's offensive performance when he's on the court compared to off it. But also, Shai is the one leading by far the best team offense when he's on the court, with a +9 relative offensive rating, while Kobe and Wade hang around +4 and +3. Of course, offensive rating is a team stat, and Kobe and Wade were carrying famously underwhelming rosters at this time to still post.
That's a good point. You gotta be honest.
Impressive, but nevertheless, I find myself most impressed by Shai's ability to carry his team to the level he has. OKC falls apart without him offensively, and they put so much on his plate, often leaving him as the sole real ball handler on the floor without elite shooting around him, yet he launches them to elite offensive heights when he plays. As further testament to this, Shai has actually played more minutes over the last 2 years without J-Dub than they've played together. And in those solo minutes, Shai has led OKC to an even crazier +11 relative offensive rating, while they are below average offensively in J-Dub's solo minutes. Shai's individual numbers without J-Dub also boggle the mind. 38 points per 75 possessions on +9% relative true shooting. His already insane volume and efficiency both go up, and the team offense gets even better when he's without his second best player.
I didn't even know J-Dub was that good.
It's like the more fully you lean into playing through Shai, the better he gets and the better your team gets. He's just that special at carrying an offense, that masterfully in control of every possession. So when you put it all together, the combination of historic volume, efficiency, and offensive impact that Shai has, all the while being a plus defender, which I haven't even mentioned, gives him the edge over all these guys to me.
I wanna like when I do a stream with Shai, I wanna sit him down and be like, okay, talk to me, walk me through. What do you think when you're like, attacking the rim?
As I said, Shai has ascended to the Mount Rushmore of guard peaks in my eyes, joining Jordan, Steph, and Magic. Damn. And I wish I would have compared all of Shai's advanced numbers we just went through to Oscar Robertson and Jerry West. We obviously don't have the data for them, but they are two of the most relatively efficient and best offensive players ever. But I slightly prefer Shai to them now, too. He is such a unique offensive titan. I am somebody who generally puts a premium on off-ball play and elite passing. And yet Shai is such a truly one-of-a-kind exception in the history of this game that he has cemented himself as one of the best guards ever without epitomizing either of those traits. By being the best and most uniquely efficient on-ball scoring guard ever. So we're contemplating big questions now about where Shai stands among...
I knew Shai was good, bro, but I didn't know he was this good. He's already looking at like breaking into the Mount Rushmore of guards. Do you like Sigma? Do you know how ridiculous that is? Do you know how ridiculous that is? For you to like, what's his age, bro? What's Shai's age, bro? Let me check his age real quick, cause I don't even know. That was Shaul. Okay. All right, brother. W education. Oh, he's 27. Oh, bro's 27. I thought bro was... Wait. I thought bro was like 25, 23. Okay. So he's in his prime as a player. Okay, this is interesting. I bet.
The giants of the past in this game, but if we stay in the present, this is a moment for the NBA. An all-time great player reaching another level, seemingly guaranteed to walk into any given arena on any given night and obliterate the competition like clockwork. An unstoppable force leading an unbeatable
team, points, man.
Changing
33.
The landscape of the entire NBA and perhaps league history. What Shai is doing night after night is awe-inspiring, and not just the results and flawless consistency, but the artistry of it all too, at least to me. The ballet-like body control, the precise footwork, and the breathtaking shot making. I always say he's one of my favorite players to watch ever, and hopefully someday the entire basketball world will embrace him as the living legend that he is. But if not, the good news is it doesn't seem to have any effect on Shai. He's pretty occupied right now by tearing up every team in the NBA and forcing himself into these conversations among the absolute
That's it right there. That's the thing, right? I love that attitude right there, bro. Even if people don't accept you like the GOAT you are, bro, force yourself into the conversation just by just giving them quality. Like, they could hate, but at one point they're just going to have to admit that,
to ever play this game. And whether you like it or not, you can't argue with that.
Hey man, shout out to Nerd Sesh, man. This was a really good video. This is actually a really good video. I like how they break down the speaking and they add the adjectives to like really, bring the point home. But I didn't know Shai was this good, man. I thought he was like, just a pretty good superstar in the NBA, but nah, he's reaching all-time levels. Shout out to Shai, man. I definitely gotta do a stream with Shai. Shout out to him. Baller. Shot caller, baller. Shot calling a baller. Alright. So we got the Shai video down. We went over Shai. Now I'm about to do a quick bathroom break because I've been low-key holding in a shit that I had to take for a while now. But after Shai, we're gonna get into JT. We're gonna get into Jason Tatum. I try to understand I'll probably say Jason Tatum is one of the most hated NBA players of all time. Jason Tatum is probably one of the how to play soft. It's crazy.
Jason Tatum continues to make.
All right, good. We're gonna watch this video right here. But when I get back, let me just go take a. I gotta go take a quick dump, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, man. Yo, while I'm going, y'all niggas, get something to eat, get some water, go get some drink water. Have you drank 8 cups of water today? I'm gonna ask you that question again. Have you drank 8 cups of water today? If the answer is no, make sure you're on track to doing that, man. Hydrate your body, man. Hydrate your body, man. Hydrate your body. Hydrate that shit. BRB. Where's my phone?
Yes.
Alright, I'm back. I'm back, people. Hi, hello, how you doing? It's me, Jaco. Hi. Let's go straight into this recording session. Let me know if you're here. If you're here in the chat, say me. I'm here in the chat. If you're here in the chat, say me. I bet. We back with another one. All right. So we just got into we covered the Trae Young trade. We covered Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and why he's potentially one of the greatest scorers ever to play the game of basketball. Yes. Now we are going to be covering arguably the most hated basketball player of all time. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I don't get why everyone hates this nigga, but I hate this nigga. So who cares? I don't get why y'all hate him, but I hate him. So we're gonna get into understanding JT's game, because yeah, you could hate the player, but come on, you can't hate the game. You can't hate the game now. Come on now. You can't hate the game. So we're gonna try and understand now why JT's game is so elite. Because like I said, this whole series, we're live right now on YouTube. Make sure you tune into the YouTube lives. Hit the notification button, because we're gonna be doing another one Saturday the 10th. But we're gonna be getting into why JT's game is so elite, and why we obviously know he's a superstar, but why it's superstar worthy. Why is that caliber? Why he had that caliber? Why he respected like that game wise? Nigga, fake Kobe wanna be nigga. Fake Kobe wanna be nigga.
Major jumps as a player every year, and he's established himself as the centerpiece on a team that can make a run for a title. Breaking down his game, he truly is the ideal wing player in today's game of basketball, and somebody that younger players can learn a lot from by watching. Let's get into it.
Now listen, I was trying to find videos that broke down his game now, but this is I think this is the closest I could have found. Everyone's just breaking down his game before he got his ring. Feel me? So yeah, this is the best we got. Okay, don't stone me. We know he has a ring. Okay, everyone calm down. Celtics fans.
What makes Jason Tatum,
I know y'all calling me the hard R right now,
is the fact that he needs a very little amount of space to get his shot off. And not only can he create his shot with very little room whenever he wants, but he also hits those shots at a high percentage, and he's able to still be efficient despite shooting shots like this. Yeah. One of his go-to moves to create a little bit of separation is this little sidestep dribble. He loves to utilize this sidestep coming off of a ball screen, and he's gonna wait to feel out his defender. As soon as he knows that,
I like to feel out my defenders too. I ain't gonna lie, pause.
He's gonna get a little sidestep to create separation, and that shot's gonna be off before that defender can even get a good contest. He also likes to go to this in post-up situations, where he's going to catch the ball, usually face up, and then go right into that side step to create just a little bit of space that he needs in order to get his shot off. He's incredibly versatile and can do this going either way. If he ends up going to his right, then he's going to turn, he's going to face up, and then give that one
butter, bro,
to his right side to take that step. He can also do this going to the left side, using more of a traditional step back instead. This is a more comfortable shot, and it's especially effective when going against a smaller defender. He's also comfortable shooting this shot behind the arc as well. And the fact that he's a 40% three-point shooter presents major problems to defenses trying to stop him. The defense has to do two things to take this shot away. They have to have their hands up, and they need to be in his space. Thibault does neither in this clip, so you know the shot's going up.
Yeah, he gets torched.
Al Horford does manage to get a hand up right here, but because he knows that Tatum can blow by him, he has to keep his distance, and because he's not crowding Tatum's space, that shot's also going up.
Bucket. Torching him.
His ability to beat guys off the dribble also sets up this between the leg step back very, very well for him. His defender has their hands down, meaning that he's going to shoot that three-point shot. And Tatum's shot is so quick that by the time Olynyk is able to contest it, the shot's already being released. Tatum also has the ability to go to a controlled fadeaway when he needs to get his shot off in the mid-range. He was much more inclined to do this back when he was a younger player, but he definitely will still go to this, especially out of post-up situations. The reason Jason Tatum is such a valuable wing in today's NBA all starts with his ability to shoot the basketball from 3. Shooting is the most important skill in basketball.
He shoots at his career-wise, he's been shooting at 40% from 3. If you could get his field goal to 50%, then oh boy.
Especially that combined with his 6'8" height and athleticism.
Oh boy.
But in order to be an elite wing scorer in the NBA, you have to be able to hit threes off the dribble as well, and Jason Tatum absolutely has that ability. This look right here is a great example of that. He gets the dribble handoff and then comes off of the ball screen and hits the wide open 3. But when we take a closer look at it, we see the problems that it really causes for the defense.
Yeah.
When he comes off of that ball screen, Joel Embiid has 2 options. Either he's going to step up and take away that 3-point shot, or he's going to stay where he is to make sure that he doesn't get beat on the roll and force Tatum to shoot that shot.
Too easy.
Embiid decides to go with option 1 and forces Tatum to make a tough shot with a defender trailing behind him, trying to alter his shot. The Celtics decide to clear out the strong side of the floor right here, leaving just Tatum in the ball screen, and they trust that despite the fact that he has limited options coming off of the screen, he's going to be able to make a play and get a bucket. The ability to consistently hit shots like this is very, very difficult and part of why he's elite. But he's far from just a shooter. He also is elite at taking people off the dribble. There's a few things to notice about this clip right here. First, we have to see the fact that his defender has to play up and crowd his space in order to take away that shot. We can also see how low he gets on this drive in order to get himself to a position where his defender can't move with him.
Okay.
And his defender gets away with a foul right here as well. Being a shooting threat forces the defender to have to play up on him, which opens up the drive. Now, we've already looked at one example of him creating contact with that defender off a ball screen, and there are multiple looks he can get out of this. He's very, very good at being patient, creating contact with his defender, and then waiting to see what play is created by the roll man. This is an extremely high IQ play. He comes off of the screen and slows down to catch his defender on his back to really evaluate what his options are, sees his roll man starting to seal in that low defender, then he explodes forward and finishes.
Too easy, too easy.
This clip right here really illustrates Jason Tatum's patience when coming off the screen. He starts off by locating Anunoby coming off of the screen to slow him down. As soon as he gets to the middle of the paint and slows him down, with Tice right behind him, he uses a brief hesitation to get Anunoby off of him. Then he attacks Marc Gasol and hits a tough shot. We can see another example here of how playing at this slow pace coming off of these screens really helps Tatum to maximize his strengths. He comes off the screen, attracts the attention of both defenders, they recognize the roll man is coming, and as soon as he starts to retreat, Tatum goes right into this little mini step back for an easy mid-range jump shot. And we can take a look in this clip how dangerous this this can be with Tatum using a ball screen coming from a guard or a wing player. Langford's going to come and set this ball screen. Tatum's going to come off the screen. Again, he's going to slow down his pace. He's going to draw on both defenders. And instead of the roll this time, Langford's going to stay up behind the 3-point line for the catch and shoot on the pop. Very, very tough to stop. We can take another look right here at Jason Tatum's shooting ability.
I low-key like JT's game, man. I've been speechless for the whole of this, this reaction, because it's just man, I don't really have much to say. His game is just butter, bro. His personality may be ass, but his game is butter. His game is it's so smooth. It looks effortless, but he's hitting tough shots. He's taking tough shots. And you can see how this guy breaks it down. You can see the thought process behind his game is damn near genius level. Damn near genius level.
And his ability to play with pace, creating a wide open layup opportunity for him. So he's going to come off of this screen, and that hedge defender, Ibaka, is going to step up. Jason Tatum's going to hit him with a brief hesitation right here. He's going to look up at the rim. That's going to cause Ibaka to raise up and actually leave his feet, which makes him very, very beatable. Tatum gets to the rim for that easy reverse finish. And the last part of his game we'll touch on briefly is his ability to finish with touch around the rim. At his size, he has incredible touch.
That's a crazy shot right there, man. Look, bro, look at this.
Is his ability to finish with touch around the rim. At his size, He has incredible touch using floaters around the rim in different situations. And his ability to hit floaters means that he's able to score from all 4 levels: at the rim, close range with floaters, mid-range, and from 3. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Make sure you guys all go to the top link in my description right now to get my free elite perimeter scorer workout. We're going to work on a bunch of skills that you need to become an elite scorer in the perimeter. So go ahead and check that out. I'll send it to you completely for free. The link for my online training is also in the description below, so make sure you check that out. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you want to see next. That's it, guys. Peace.
Peace. This is a good video. It was chill, but this was a good video, man. Peace, bro. So, yeah, that was a chill video. Y'all know how I feel about JT. We might have to go into another video because I want to understand his game a little bit more. So let's go here.
This season marks the 3rd year in a row where the Celtics had at least a top 2 offense in the NBA. And while they've loaded their roster with capable shooters, ball handlers, and decision makers, I do think it goes somewhat unnoticed just how much of this elite offense is created by Jason Tatum, who's quietly turned into one of the game's best playmakers. Most of Boston's offense is built around hunting for mismatches to attack one-on-one. They'll often set high ball screens for Tatum as soon as he crosses half court to get the switch onto a matchup he wants. Then from there, he'll do what he does best as an isolation creator.
Yeah. Wait, let me pull this back a little bit because I don't like what I'm seeing here. If playback doesn't begin, surely turn. The playback started, buddy.
Screens for Tatum as soon as he crosses half court to get the switch onto a matchup he wants. Then from there, he'll do what he does best as an isolation creator. More times than not, they're looking to get the switch onto someone who's slower than him laterally so that he can use his combination of ball handling and agility to put pressure on the rim. Typically, that means getting the switch onto a big, but it could also mean a weaker defensive wing, and with a favorable matchup, he's one of the toughest players in the league to stay in front of. Of course, the Celtics then have all of those three-point shooters to surround him on these perimeter isolations, so once he gets downhill, the defense is then forced to pick their poison. Bringing late help on drives is a super dangerous game. Not only is Tatum going to consistently find the open man, who's probably a 40% three-point...
I'm going to be honest, right, though? If you're taller than the most of the field, playmaking should be a strength in your game, right? Like, let's be honest. You can scan the whole field. You can see... All it takes is, like, a quick... Whether you're driving, like, a click 1-2. And you can see who's open, bro. Unless, you know, they're behind you. But... this should be at least a strength or at least average ability for most like superstar forwards and shit, bro.
Shooter, thanks to his size and touch, he's more than capable of finishing through traffic. So after building that head of steam, it's tough to keep him from scoring. This season, shooter, thanks to his size and touch, he's more than capable of finishing through traffic. So after building that head of steam, it's tough to keep him from scoring. This season, 103 players have attempted at least 200 shots at the rim. Of those 103, only 3 of them have shot at least 72.5% at the rim, with less than half of their shots being assisted on. Those players are Giannis, LeBron, and Jason Tatum. To make things even tougher, Boston will often go to a 4-out, 1-in setup with a guard playing from the dunker, and that often leaves the defense with no resistance in the paint. For these reasons, it's in the defense's best interest to keep him as far away from the basket as possible. So they're often looking to get the ball out of his hands early. This time he gets the switch onto a big, and help loads up early at the nail. But with nobody on the wing, Tatum makes the help commit to the ball before kicking it to the corner, leaving Brown with a wide open 3. Sometimes you'll see defenses just outright double the ball, and he's just so good at reading these coverages, then making the right decisions. Take a look at this play. He gets trapped more than 30 feet out, and both of his easy outlets are covered, so he makes an absolutely ridiculous cross-court pass that lands right in the shooting pocket of Al Horford. Another way the Celtics will hunt for mismatches is by using Tatum as the screener. This is usually to get the switch onto a smaller player switch
Austin
to attack
Reeves, come
from
here.
that mid-post. In these spots, he's again looking to get downhill, often using his physical advantages to just push his way to the rim with ease, and he pairs that interior presence with great touch as a shooter, so if there's no space to attack, he'll often fall back on short mid-range jumpers. So this creates the same sort of issues for the defense. He's such a mismatch in the middle of the floor, then he has the vision to counter help regardless of where it's coming from, once again making them pick their poison. What stands out most to me is the speed of his decisions. When he screens and seals off the entry pass, Khalil Ware drops to the paint to help, so right off the catch, he immediately kicks it out to Horford for an open three. Here's another example. He screens to get the switch onto Maxey, posts up, but the Sixers come with an immediate double off the catch, so he tosses it right back to Derek White for a warm-up triple. Even on a play like this where he gets the ball in the middle and Trace Jackson Davis is barely cheating over. He sees that opening and throws a quick dime to Horford, who's got enough space to shoot. That quick decision making is the key to all of his reads as a playmaker. This time he's setting up for one of those high That quick decision making is the key to all of his reads as a playmaker. This time he's setting up for one of those high ball screens, and Christian Braun barely even steps over to help, but with a quick pass to the wing, White has more than enough room to step into a three.
I'm gonna pause it right here, right? Here's the thing about JT's game. Yes, he hits tough shots, but and yes, he's fun to watch at times, but it's just like I feel like it's missing some of that X factor. That's just like that makes me just want to watch JT play all the time. Shai has that X factor. Luka has that X factor. I think JT got a highlight hunt a little bit more. I think he got a highlight hunt a little bit more.
On this one, he actually starts away from the ball, and he's trying to lose his man with some movement. And
trust me, he gets highlights. It's just his highlights is just not like, yo, I want to bounce around the room type of highlights. Feel me?
He touches the ball. He knows Drummond's going to jump out, so he immediately gives it back to Kornet for points at the rim. His anticipation is nothing short of elite. He consistently, as he touches the ball, he knows Drummond's going to jump out, so he immediately gives it back to Kornet for points at the rim. His anticipation is nothing short of elite. He consistently knows what the defense is going to do before they do it, which allows him to exploit all sorts of different advantages. Here's a play that starts with the Cavs switching a high ball screen, but instead of Tatum isolating, they're looking to post up Kristaps against the guard. Tatum knows that the Cavs are trying to avoid that mismatch with a scram switch though, and as soon as Jared Allen starts to drop from the corner, that's his cue to make the pass to Al Horford. Just because he makes instant decisions doesn't mean he's rushing though. Look at the patience here. He's looking to isolate Wemby, but waits to see how the defense is going to load up. Then when Vassell comes with a late double, he gives it up to Horford on the wing for a great look. Between the slashing, mid-post game, quick decision-making, and court vision, Tatum creates a ton of advantages in isolation. On the season, he's third in the NBA at 8.9 isolation possessions a game. On those plays, the Celtics are generating 1.03 points per possession, which is good for the 76th percentile among all players. With all of that said, though, I'd say most of his best reads as a playmaker come out of the high pick and roll. Anytime Tatum comes off a screen, he's hunting for off-the-dribble threes. He's capable of pulling up in a variety of ways, and while moving in any direction, then because of his height, he can get these shots off pretty much on demand.
He still got the three. Maybe he does have some good highlights, man. Maybe I gotta watch a JT highlight comp. Maybe I'm just yapping.
He's attempting just under 4 threes a game out of the pick and roll, good for third in the league, and on those shots, he's made almost 35%, so it's something that He's attempting just under 4 threes a game out of the pick and roll, good for third in the league, and on those shots, he's made almost 35%, so it's something that defenses have to game plan for. Then he uses the threat of the jumper beautifully. Notice how he comes to a stop and gathers as if looking to pull up, which draws Drummond to the ball and leaves Kornet open on the roll. Because this is a shot he'll take and make at volume, opposing bigs are almost always forced to defend near the level of the screen, and at this point he's basically mastered the art of picking apart those coverages. Because of the handle and agility, if he turns the corner and a big is out in space, chances are he's getting around them on his way to the rim.
JT.
And if he isn't getting around them, he's going through them, as he's got the size to attack a backpedaling big and create that separation. So now we're back to square one with the defense having to pick their poison. The big steps up to not give up the pull-up three. He counters with a drive, then help collapses to not let him get to the rim, and the result is a kick out to a shooter for a wide open jumper. It doesn't matter where help comes from. This time when he turns the corner and gets a step by Gobert, Edwards drops from the corner to protect the rim, only for Tatum to throw a live dribble skip pass, leading to an easy three for White.
Yeah.
On this one, Jalen Duren actually
kind of like Luka a little bit with the passing, no? I don't think he gets Luka numbers, but he's really good at finding an open man.
Does a really good job of taking away the jumper and moving his feet to keep the ball in front without needing help. But instead of switching, Asar continues to follow the drive. So when Tatum actually does a really good job of taking away the jumper and moving his feet to keep the ball in front without needing help. But instead of switching, Asar continues to follow the drive. So when Tatum turns around, Horford's on an island at the top of the key. Boston's primary screeners also being threats to pop really amplifies these actions. It's just another wrinkle that the defense has to worry about, and again, Tatum knows how to take complete advantage of it. That especially stands out when they go to their inverted pick and rolls with a guard like White setting the screen. If the defense doesn't want to switch, they'll put two on the ball, and he'll consistently make that pass to the pop for quality three-pointers. Speaking of which, many defenses just choose to put two on the ball anytime he comes off a screen in hopes of getting it out of his hands early. And sure, now they aren't forced to deal with his slashing, but between the passing vision, quick decision making, and patience, they're probably gonna get a great shot on those possessions. Tatum's averaging 13.5 pick and rolls a game, good for 19th in the NBA. On those plays, the Celtics are generating 1.05 points per possession, which, just like the isolations, lands him in the 76th percentile among all players. So with Tatum, we're talking about a guy who's near the top of the league in volume in both the pick and roll and in isolation. And both play types are leading to really efficient results, which is the focal point for...
We gotta have one of those stat YouTubers talk about how good he is, like, all time. What's he looking like all time for forwards?
Boston's elite half-court offense. The league average half-court offense this season has an offensive rating of 97.9. The Celtics are third at 104.3, meaning that they're about sixth. Boston's elite half-court offense.
Keep doing this.
The league average half-court offense this season has an offensive rating of 97.9. The Celtics are third at 104.3, meaning that they're about 6.5 points above average. Like I said, Tatum's the focal point, and I actually think it gets somewhat understated how much involvement he has. He's averaging 84 touches a game, which is the 10th most of any player, and he's averaging over 5 minutes with the ball in his hands, which is more than some notable names like Donovan Mitchell, Steph Curry, and Nikola Jokic. Part of what makes him such a unique player, though, is that he's arguably just as effective away from the ball. The pull-up shooting can be up and down, but he's always reliable
who is he feeling like?
Spot up. Over the last 3 seasons, he's attempted 664 catch and shoot threes, and he's made an impressive 41% of them. Then he pairs that shooting threat with the instant decision making I talked about, which makes him one of the game's most dangerous off the catch attackers and extra passers. When he's spotted up on the perimeter, he's always going to draw a closeout, and he consistently takes advantage by swinging the ball and finding the open man. If there isn't
he's like a mix of like KD's shot creation and shot making with like LeBron's passing. I don't know what his rebound stats look like, but maybe they're I don't know. But if he added that rebound in the defense,
immediate swing pass to
scary.
Make, that's when you'll see him put the ball down and attack the closeout, which once again brings us back to the way he pressures defenses as a slasher. This off-ball game allows the Celtics to run offense through immediate swing pass to make. That's when you'll see him put the ball down and attack the closeout, which once again brings us back to the way he pressures defenses as a slasher. This off-ball game allows the Celtics to run offense through literally anyone. You'll often see Brown create the initial advantage, and Tatum fits right in as a spot-up shooter who will play off of that advantage to ensure that they get a good shot. I want you to think of Boston's offense like a chain of dominoes. On this play, the initial domino is Tatum drawing 2 out of the pick and roll and hitting Cornette in the short roll. The next domino is a kick out to Pritchard and then an extra pass to White. And once they're all knocked down, the result is an open shot. This time, the initial domino is Tatum posting up a mismatch, drawing a double, and kicking it out.
Their offense is crazy fluid. It reminds me of the Warriors in 2017, bro. Like, it's fluid. It's like water. Like, the defense could be a cup. The defense could be a bowl. The defense could be a bottle. Boston is just going to fit right in. Well, I don't know what they look like right now, but they're going to fit right in and just get their shot off. They're going to get it off, bro. Their offense is fluid.
Brown. Then the ball quickly swings around the perimeter, eventually finding White in the corner for a warm-up jumper.
Splat.
Like I said earlier, Tatum creating an advantage is usually the initial domino, but on this one, to Brown. Then the ball quickly swings around the perimeter, eventually finding White in the corner for a warm-up jumper.
Me off.
Like I said earlier, Tatum creating an advantage is usually the initial domino, but on this one, it's a drive and kick from Brown, and Tatum's just a part of the chain as he makes the final extra pass to Holiday for 3. Sometimes, though, he's the final piece to the puzzle. Brown drives and drops it off to White, who immediately kicks it out to Horford, who swings it to Holiday, who attacks a closeout and finds Tatum on the weak side for a wide open 3 of his own. Tatum's offensive development over the years has been awesome to watch. From big scoring wing to elite off-ball player to now one of the best decision makers and initiators in the NBA, we're talking about a truly complete offensive engine. And as we approach the playoffs, it'll be interesting to see if anyone can find an answer for this buzzsaw of a Celtics offense. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content. If you're interested in my more in-depth research, make sure to check out the Hoop Venue podcast and my social media profiles. You can find the...
Shout out to Hoop Venue. That was a good video. Shout out to Hoop Venue, man. Hey, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to bro, man. Go show him some love. That's a good video. Now, I want to go back, right? So go to YouTube. Actually, let me go here. Because I think that YouTube was like a little glitched. It was glitched. Let's see what's going on X real quick. By the way, people, go mess with this. Dario Silva is back. This is good.
Yo, hold on, let her talk, bro. But one thing about
Guess a secret NBA player with Luka Doncic. Jesser's been going crazy with his content, man. Jesser's at 36 mil on YouTube. Shout out to Jesser, man. He's like a YouTube superstar right now, bro. Alright, so Jack, I wonder if he has any breakdown or tier list on teams. Linsanity, every Linsanity running NBA history. Ranking off of aura. Okay, that's like, come on, that's like subjective. The most dangerous signature moves in NBA history. Ranking NBA champions from least to most aura. I think 2016 Cavs has to have a hella aura. All right, so he hasn't done any breakdowns on like the NBA teams. What else? What else is on the list? We got AE. We could watch an AE video. I want to watch an AE video. Could have sworn I seen the other page like this. We're gonna stay on. We're gonna stay on topic. The year Anthony Edwards almost broke the NBA. Perfect. This is perfect. This is exactly what I've been looking for. All right. Okay, so basically, on our journey to catch up with NBA lore, we have to try and catch up with some core NBA moments over the past couple of years, understand a little bit better the current climate of the NBA. And we're going to start by AE, Anthony Edwards, and we're going to figure out what happened in the year that he almost broke the NBA. Oh, actually, he broke the NBA, according to Post 2K. According to Post 2K, I'm going to subscribe. Okay.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
And let's get into it.
This was the moment Anthony Edwards became a superstar. Right here. Banging a three in KD's grill and talking smack right to his face in the 2024 playoffs. It wasn't your typical passing of the torch moment. This was the Ant-Man taking it for himself. And what followed was chaos. Edwards. He went on to sweep KD and the Suns before shocking the defending champs on their home court in a historic Game 7. The man broke the script, and although it didn't end with a championship, 2024 marked something greater. It was the arrival of the Ant-Man. The Minnesota Timberwolves are down 3 to the Denver Nuggets in Game 5 of the first round. They have 2.2 seconds to save their season.
Looking for Edwards. Finally gets it to him. Edwards launches.
Hey, E. Oh, he missed.
With a chance to send the game to overtime, Anthony Edwards misses the 3 as he immediately runs off the court devastated. Minnesota falls to Denver in 5 as the Nuggets become NBA champions just 2 months later. It was an absolute gut punch to Edwards and the Wolves, but right under the surface, revenge was boiling. The following season, Ant was coming at everyone's head. He was a killer. I mean, even the NBA had to investigate him because bodies were dropping in the paint on a nightly basis.
I like that. I like this type of talk. Like, bro, why he's talking smack with all my legends? Why he talking smack with KD that I'm seeing talk smack with Curry? Like, I like this type of energy though. I love this type of energy. He's like, nigga, I don't care if you a legend, nigga. I'm a legend. I don't care if you a legend. I'm a legend, nigga. We on the same playing field, bro. So tighten up. Tighten up. Yeah.
I knew he was going for the layup, and I was just like, man, I'm finna go get this. Edwards getting up. Edwards. Crossover. Pull up. Daniels. No.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You see, in my previous video on Jason Tatum, I was saying, yo, Jason Tatum don't got that X factor that make me want to watch him play again and again and again. It's just something about his game that doesn't draw me back in. AE, like, these may look like regular NBA highlights, but he got, I don't know, he got like that passion behind it that just makes you want to like root for him, bro.
Edwards, yes sir! Edwards down the lane.
Oh my God.
Edwards gets it back.
Ant-Man had the paint looking like a cemetery on offense and defense. I mean, the dude hit his head on the rim on this block. Who does that? At just 22 years old, with this type of raw athleticism, flair, and charisma on the court, everyone around the league just stopped and stared. It was like seeing MJ or Kobe back on the court. The kid was special. He finished the season averaging a career-high 26 points per game, made the All-Star team for a second consecutive season, and made an All-NBA team for the first time in his career, all while leading the Wolves to their second winningest season in franchise history.
That's good.
The Ant-Man was on the verge of superstardom, and headed into the playoffs, he'll have a chance to break through against his GOAT.
My GOAT?
Your GOAT.
Man, it's gonna sound crazy, but Kevin Durant.
Wow. That's insane. That's insane. This is like me, right? Going head to head with either Ye or Cristiano or Kyrie in a matchup. Whether it be dropping an album or a mixtape or we in the NBA and I you know what I'm saying? Like, I got the chance to knock him out of the playoffs, or we're in the Champions League. I got the chance to knock CR7 out of the playoffs. And I do it, nigga. Wow. Who would have thought that would have happened? I did. It's like what I say, nigga. I don't care if you're the GOAT, nigga. I'm the GOAT, nigga. What? I'm the GOAT now.
It was the old guard versus the new one in round 1. Ant-Man against who he believes to be the greatest of all time. And in the first half of game 1, Durant was playing like it. It was vintage KD, levitating in the air for some of the most aesthetically pleasing buckets you'll ever see, with 18 points in the half. Edwards took that as a challenge, looking KD right in the eye and telling him that the next generation is here.
Come here.
Clean spins, pivots.
Too easy.
Off one leg, wonderful footwork.
Too easy.
Action from Gobert in the mid-range. Likes going to his left, spins right.
Get busy on this nigga, Ant.
Oh man, he was in his bag.
Get busy on this. Yeah, he was in his bag like the fries at the bottom, nigga. Yeah.
Edwards around the double team. Gotta look. Butter. Ant-Man in full effect. Oh, nice hands. Oh, Edwards, it's showtime.
Good defense. Show me some 8. Bang! I want to see him do a windmill.
The changing of the guard was symbolized in this moment. Ant talking trash right to KD's face. The kid doesn't give a damn. He won't ask for the torch to be passed, he'll take it from him. And it was echoed when he ripped Durant late and took a quantum leap for the two-handed flush, outdueling his idol with 33, 9, 6, and 2. The young superstar has officially arrived. In Game 2, Ant couldn't get it going offensively, but he flexed his two-way abilities with 3 steals and a block on the night. It was Mini all the way, and they take a 2-0 series lead. The Ant-Man was unfazed in enemy territory.
Look, you see what the shirt says? Aura. They're not lying.
In the first quarter, he uses beautiful footwork to get to his spot, feels the contact,
he got more
and throws in a...
Hey, he got more aura than Jason Tatum, nigga. Word. I'ma say so since nobody wanna say it. AE has more aura than Jason Tatum. And he's only been in the league for a couple of years.
One-handed push shot off glass while falling backwards for the and one. And in typical Edwards fashion, he runs his mouth at Beal. And he must have told him that there's more to come, because just 2 minutes later, he bombs a 29-footer in Beal's mouth to give him...
God. Hold this hot one. Hold this hot one.
12 points in the first quarter.
It's a W graphic.
Ant was unguardable.
W graphic.
The Timberwolves thrived off the kid's momentum, exploding in the second and third quarters to take a 24-point lead into the fourth, where Ant was a bully.
Nigga cat, oh my god, I'm dropping trees on you niggas.
He went nuclear for 18 in the frame to put the Suns down 0-3 in the series, as he hits Phoenix with a family-friendly celebration. One thrust for every single one of his baby mamas. Ant-Man rose to the occasion once again with 36 points, 9 boards, 5 dimes, and 2 steals on the game.
That was out of pocket. Yo, Post 2K, you know that was out of pocket, man. We know he got a lot of baby mamas, but come on, man. Kids are watching,
a young superstar flourish right in front of our eyes. However, in Game 4 with a chance to sweep, that superstar came out cold.
Katie, talk your trash back.
Through the first half, Edwards had just 9 points on 2 for 8 from the field and 1 for 6 from 3, with the Wolves down 5. His squad desperately needed him to close out this series. It was his chance to make a statement, and well, he did. Early in the frame, he bottoms a corner 3. He rattles in another from the left wing, pulls another ISO, and bangs it.
This is a sign of a good player, man.
To lay it in, fills it up with another triple to get his team within 2, and the man wasn't slowing down. In the fourth, he cans a pull-up midi, lasers a 30-footer for his 6th 3 of the game, hits a fade out of the post like he's MJ, stuffs Booker at the rim, comes back down and rips Cord on another 3, then with 2 to go, up by 2, he eclipsed the Suns.
Oh, I like how you put that. He eclipsed the Suns. Oh my god. Like, yo, like I'm saying, bro. Like, bro, his highlights hit. His highlights hit, bro.
Smacked on the side of the head right in front of KD, Ant-Man rocks the rim on the slam. Game, set, match. Ant completes the sweep with a superb 40-point, 9 rebound, 6 assist, and 2 block performance, including 31 of those in the second half.
Yeah.
In fact,
that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. To start off cold and then just, yo, it's different, bro.
It's Minnesota's first series win since they had Kevin Garnett back in 2004. The 22-year-old is officially a superstar, and he's about to be put to the test against the greatest player in the game.
Oh, nah. Why Jokic looking at him like that, man?
A living nightmare was awaiting Edwards and the Wolves in round 2.
Why Jokic looking at him like that?
Nikola Jokic and the defending champion Denver
I ain't gonna lie, Jokic got aura too, bro.
Stomped Minnesota in round 1 on their way to the title just a year ago, as they unknowingly created a monster in the process.
Come here. Thanks.
He built both of these teams. Edwards 3. Back from Jokic. Knocked away by Edwards. Working, leaning, spinning.
And Potato. Let's have some respect, man.
He'll dance. Great cut over and a shot. What a play. 35.
How about a franchise record 43-point blitz by the Ant-Man as the first dose of revenge towards Denver? The dude was blistering.
This time it's personal.
Just the second player in history to record back-to-back 40-point playoff games at 22 or younger, joining who else but Kobe. Still at altitude with a chance to take a 2-0 series lead, the Wolves had the defending champs in a torture chamber all night long, as they held Denver to a season-low 80 points in a 26-point blowout. And after hitting a filthy sidestep 3 in the fourth, Ant can only shrug. This wasn't supposed to happen. The Timberwolves shockingly take both games at the champ's house.
This nigga's
2 games.
This nigga basically, a reincarnation of Jordan, my nigga. Like, it's actually uncanny, bro. We really gotta, like, bro, DNA test this nigga, man. DNA test this nigga, man, because ain't no way.
To none. At home with a chance to take a chokehold on the series, the Wolves got smoked by 27. But in game 4 with a shot to go up 3-1, the Ant-Man was smoking hot. He kept his team's head above water the entire game with a nuclear 44-5-5 performance. But no other Timberwolf could get it going, and this series is tied at 2, headed back to Denver.
Oh my God.
Which is where they got slammed once again. On the night he received his MVP trophy, Nikola Jokic went unconscious for 47-13 to put the Wolves on the brink of elimination. With his back against the wall for the first time this postseason, we're about to see what Ant-Man's truly made of. And I think it's safe to say the kid's got confidence. Like, irrational confidence.
Did you really tell the locker room staffer in Denver you were going to be back for
Hell
games?
yeah. They know I was in there. Yeah, I told them. I said, I'll see y'all motherfuckers for game 7. Yeah.
I like this.
This could be fun. Edwards to the rack. Conley to Edwards. Corner 3 is good. Throughout the season, Edwards scores in and uses the wing. Dude, Murray spinning. Has to force it up. How about that Timberwolves?
I like that energy right there.
Edwards at 3. You bet.
Woo.
A 14-point first quarter explosion sent an electric shock through the building, giving Minnesota all the momentum. And they never looked back. Ant poured in 27, 4-4-3 as the Wolves win by 45 to force a Game 7 against the champs. This is what a superstar does. But on the other side, Denver had one too. A man who stood the entire fourth quarter of Game 6.
Yo, this nigga Jokic, man. This nigga Jokic. We gotta stop this nigga. We gotta stop him. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Burning with rage as he watched his team get dismantled right before his eyes. The Joker was plotting something deadly for Game 7. From the jump, the Nuggets were clicking on all cylinders as Jokic and Murray combined to score 37 points in the first half.
Oh my.
Just 1 point less than the entire Wolves roster.
Oh my God.
It was a slaughter. By all accounts, this one's over. Right?
Hell no.
Come here. Get busy on them, AE. Get busy on them, AE. Get busy on these niggas, man. Give me that. Give me that. You ain't doing nothing with that. You ain't doing nothing with that.
That's it. The Timberwolves have knocked out the defending champion Denver Nuggets. They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time.
Y'all done woke up the animal. You done woke up the animal. You woke him up. Good job, buddy.
In 20 years.
With the largest Game 7 comeback in NBA history, Ant and the Wolves stunned the defending champions on their home court
fake demons,
to
man.
win the series.
I think it's some fake demons, man.
And the kid made sure to rub it in too. He talked shit to the fans, waved goodbye to the crowd, and beamed a huge smile right at Jokic's face. Even though he didn't dominate offensively, Edwards showcased that he isn't just a one-dimensional player. He came up with massive stops, had handcuffs on Jamal Murray the entire second half, and when his team needed a bucket, he was right there to deliver. The future of the NBA was staring at us right in the face. Well, that's unless the boogeyman has something to say about it.
Somebody gotta stop this nigga, Luka. Oh my god. Stop him. Oh my god. Oh my. Yo, now this nigga on the Lakers, bro. Lakers got the money glitch, bro. It's over, bro. It's over, bro. It's over. Oh.
A 6'6" European demigod was the only thing standing between the Wolves and a trip to the NBA Finals. And in Game 1, Luka quickly showed Ant that there's levels to this. Edwards stuffed the stat sheet with 19, 11, and 8.
Yo, what's up, Vice?
Luka dummied him with 33, 6, and 8.
See, nigga, yo, nigga dropped 33 on you in the conference finals. Woo! You gonna remember that.
The win. Game 2 was just pure pain. Ant-Man couldn't get anything going as the Dawn took over, burying a game winner on their home floor to put the Wolves down 0-2 in the series. Trying to avoid an 0-3 deficit on the road, Ant did everything
from TikTok.
as he
I
poured
got
in
you.
26 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists,
he put in some pain.
and 1 soul.
What?
Uh-oh.
What do you mean 1 soul? What do you mean 1 soul? Oh, hell nah. Oh my god.
What a play by Edwards!
Oh my god.
Anthony Edwards sent Gafford into another dimension.
Yeah,
with that
took that nigga's soul, boy. Fuck, nigga. You ain't getting that back. You ain't getting that shit back, nigga. Word.
soul snatching poster. But it still wasn't enough. The Timberwolves lose and go down 0-3. The outcome was inevitable. Minnesota's season ends at home in Game 5 as one of the most electrifying playoff runs we've ever seen from a young superstar ends at the hands of a man who seems to be just one step ahead of him.
I'm gonna give you mod right now, buddy.
Nonetheless, it wasn't a wasted season by any means. Ant-Man is just scratching the surface. If this is what he did in his breakout season, I can't even imagine what he's gonna do next.
Alright, Vex, you got mod now, buddy. That's a good video. That was a great video. Yo, shout out to Post. Shout out to Post 2K, man. That was a great video, man. I enjoyed that. That was fire. I have proof I can send pic in the... I already know who you are, Vice. You don't have to send no proof. Give me a second. I gotta take a piss, though. Give me a second.
I have proof I can send pic in DC. Jaco Joran's personal X, Twitter, is URL.
I bet. Yo, Vice, you got mob, bro. Don't let me down, buddy. Vice, don't let me down, buddy. Do not let me down. Alright, so we just watched our video on Ant-Man. We just watched our video on the Ant-Man, and that was a great video. That's a great video. We watched a video on Jason Tatum, Ant-Man. Now it's time for Jalen Brunson. Let's watch it. Let's see if Jalen Brunson has any videos right here.
THX.
Hey, anytime, buddy. Word. So we've learned about AE, Anthony Edwards. We've learned some NBA lore. We've learned about Shai's NBA lore. We've learned about Jokic's NBA lore. Now it's time to learn about how the 33rd pick saved the New York Knicks. New York City, stand up! I've been hearing a lot about Jalen Brunson. You know, I was watching the duel he was having with Tyrese Halliburton, I believe last year in the NBA playoffs, as well as the duel he was having with Trae Young. He was doing his thing, especially in the playoffs. Like, he's brought back hope to the city of New York. And that's what New York's been needing for a long time. Okay, a very long time. We've needed to have some hope. And he's giving us that. Now we're about to learn his life story and how he got here. You know, because I want to learn about the best players in the NBA and study how they got here. Everyone, sit back, relax, snack on your popcorn, snack on your Cheez-Its, snack on your donuts. And let's watch, man. Let's watch.
NBA today. But things weren't always that way. Before Jalen transformed into an all-star and saved the Knicks from years of mediocrity, he was just an undersized second-round pick with an uncertain future. However, today, his talent and stardom is undeniable.
This game is very special to me. This game means everything to me. I put my entire life into this game.
From coming off the Mavericks bench to becoming the biggest star in the Big Apple, this is the story of Jalen Brunson. And Brunson's story actually starts just south of the bright lights of New York City, in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, where Jalen grew up. His father...
No, that's wavy. That's wavy. He was born in New Jersey. So, you know, he grew up with some love for, like, probably the Nets. He probably grew up with some love for the Nets. So, ideally, he probably would want to be a Brooklyn Net. But, you know, he's a Knick. Same thing in a sense. Both represent City. Both represent the city. You know what I'm saying?
Rick was a professional basketball player, spending time in the NBL and CBA, in addition to having a lengthy 9-year NBA career.
9 years
for
tough.
multiple teams. Because of this, Jalen basically grew up in NBA locker rooms.
You grew up around the NBA, right? Your dad, Rick, he actually played for the Knicks.
He did. Yeah, he played for the 99 team when we went to the finals, so he brought them a little good luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember just being a kid and having Knicks stuff around. We still have old Knicks blankets.
Oh, okay. He always was a Knickerbocker.
While his father was with the Knicks, he brought Jalen around so much that the ushers and attendants knew him by name. And when his mother Sandra noticed that his only friends were Knicks stars Larry Johnson and Marcus Camby, she enrolled him in pre-K to socialize with kids his own age.
I just remember like when I used to meet like players like that, like it became normal. When I used to bring friends around, like, oh, like you met this person, that person. I'm like, yeah, I met him, but I see him all the time.
But after growing up around the game like that, Jalen only wanted to do one thing with his life. He wanted to play ball, just like his dad.
The love of basketball was evident to me, honestly, since the day I was born. I was always surrounded by it.
Then, in 2006, when Jalen was 10 years old, things changed. He tagged along with his dad to a preseason practice with the 76ers, and when they arrived, Rick was informed that he had been cut. Rick dreaded telling his basketball-obsessed son the news, and even more so because he knew he was going to retire rather than seeking another non-guaranteed journeyman contract. But before leaving the 76ers locker room, Rick conveyed a message to his son. If you really want this man, you've got to work like nobody's business. A message that really stuck with Jalen. And though his father's playing career ended, his coaching career began. But it came with struggle for the Brunson family. They would have to move 7 times in the coming years for various coaching jobs. But throughout the turmoil, one thing was constant for Jalen: basketball. In the 7th grade, he quit all other sports to focus strictly on hoops. And this is also when his dad became his one-on-one trainer.
Don't slow up. No. Full speed. Here. Jump. Take you to your shot. Go.
They would train rigorously 3 times a week for the rest of his time in middle school before progressing to daily sessions in high school.
I think I learned how to work when I got to league. I didn't really understand how hard I had to work before. So I instilled that in Jalen, at a young age, to kind of eliminate the fact of just trying to make it every year. I think he put himself in a great position.
High school is all...
Chat, if you want to make it to the league, you want to make it anywhere in life, you got to work, man. You got to work. You're bored? Find something to do.
So when Jalen finally had a consistent living situation as his family settled down in Lincolnshire, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. And it didn't take long for all the work Jalen and his father had put in to pay off on the court. While playing at Stevenson High School, Jalen became a school legend. He earned an all-Lake County honorable mention as a freshman, but his sophomore year is when he really started to shine. After starting the year with a 10-4 record, Jalen led Stevenson on a 19-game winning streak, culminating in a state championship game clash against the 3-time defending champs, Simeon Career Academy, led by Jabari Parker and Kendrick Nunn.
Bro, I remember Jabari Parker, man. Yo, when Jabari Parker was in high school, bro, he was a force. It's like Ben Simmons in high school. Ben Simmons in high school was a force no one wanted to go against at all.
And Brunson fell short. Despite his best efforts, the game ended 58-40 in Simeon's favor, and Jalen was held to just 1 point in the entire second half. Damn. Brunson finished the season averaging 21.5 points per game and was named All-State second team, being the only sophomore with an All-State nomination. The next year, Stevenson returned to the playoffs, this time with an unbelievable 32-1 record. They played against the Jalil Okafor-led Whitney Young High School in the semifinals, and Jalen scored a record-setting 56 points in the game. But Stevenson lost once again, 75-68. That shouldn't take away from Brunson's performance that season, though. He averaged 26.1 points, 5.4 rebounds, 4.7 assists, and 2.9 steals. He also won Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Illinois and was the only junior to make the All-State first team. At this point, Jalen started getting the national recognition he deserved. He was a 5-star recruit and the #1 ranked player in the state of Illinois. He received scholarship offers from over 8 different colleges, but prior to his senior season, announced that he would be committing to Villanova. During his last year of high school.
Yeah, I always been a Duke fan. I always been a fan of Duke. My friends try to expose me for not knowing too much about Duke. Okay, I'm just a fan of Duke, bro. I'm a fan of the idea of Duke, okay? You know what? Get off my dick, all right? I don't have to know everything about Duke. I don't watch college basketball like that. I watch NBA, all right? And so what? So what if I don't watch Duke 24/7? Do you watch Duke 24/7?
Cool ball, Brunson continued to impress. He set the career record for scoring in Lake County. But more importantly, he led Stevenson to yet another place in the state championship game. And this time, they won. Brunson dropped 30, with the game ending 57-40.
It was just so emotional that day. I can't even explain it. I mean, it was one of the best times of my life. Hugging my parents after the game. There's so many rare moments. Me and my dad have a moment like that, and it was really emotional.
After falling short of 2 state championships, Jalen finally reached the mountaintop. He was named Illinois Mr. Basketball and repeated as Illinois Gatorade Player of the Year. And as that chapter closed, Brunson's focus shifted to college ball.
Villanova.
And as the top recruit, the pressure was on for him to perform right away. And perform he did. With Jalen as the starter, the Wildcats quickly climbed to the top of the college rankings, finishing the season as the 6th-ranked team in the country. When the NCAA tournament rolled around, Brunson was ready to prove himself on a national stage. Villanova steamrolled the competition before meeting the #1 overall team, Kansas, in the Elite Eight. The game was one for the ages, both teams trading blows down the stretch, but the Wildcats held on to win on the back of 2 clutch free throws by Brunson that iced the game. Villanova went on to dismantle Oklahoma in the Final Four, leading to a national championship matchup with North Carolina. In what was one of the greatest college basketball games in history, the Wildcats once again got it done by way of a buzzer-beating 3 from Chris Jenkins.
I remember this. He did that in Kyrie's. I remember this.
And while Brunson mainly played a complimentary role, he was still a starter on a national championship winning team as a freshman. But just like in high school, his sophomore year, he exploded. Villanova was even better, finishing the season as the #1 ranked team in the country. And this time around, Jalen wasn't a role player. He was the 2nd leading scorer on the team, averaging 14.7 points and 4.1 assists. He was also a unanimous selection for the Big East first team. While the Wildcats would get bounced in the 2nd round of the NCAA tournament, that was just a setup for an insane redemption story for Brunson's junior season.
Probably the biggest obstacle for him was not being the go-to guy. In his 3rd year, he was the go-to guy, and then the obstacle was, how do I make sure I'm the go-to guy and I keep everybody else involved?
And it was in his junior season that he established himself as the best player in college basketball. Villanova was once again dominant, finishing the season ranked 2nd overall. And Brunson led the team with 18.9 points and 4.6 assists per game. But when tournament time came around, the Wildcats took their game to a whole nother level. They won every tournament game by double digits on their way to another NCAA title.
Damn, so in college, this guy really made a name for himself. Really made a name for himself. Okay, I didn't know he was a college legend.
I really cannot put this into words at all. I just love my brothers. I love my team. I love Nova Nation. It's just spectacular.
Jalen's been questioned at each level. He was a dominant high school player, and a lot of people said, well, he's not going to be able to dominate like that in college. He'll be a good college player. And then he goes on to be National Player of the Year.
And Brunson won just about every college award in basketball, completing one of the greatest college careers we've ever seen.
Yeah, so he's a college legend. Okay.
With nothing more to prove, following the season, Jalen declared for the NBA draft. And with a resume as impressive as his, you would expect him to be a lottery pick. But we all know that's not what happened. The 2018 NBA draft was absolutely stacked. At the top, you had players like DeAndre Ayton, Luka Doncic, and Trae Young. But there were also absolute gems scattered throughout the draft, like SGA at pick 11, Michael Porter Jr. at pick 14, and Anthony Simons at pick 24. But easily the biggest steal of the entire draft came at the 3rd pick of the 2nd round, where the Dallas Mavericks selected
Jalen Brunson from Villanova University,
completing one of the best drafts in recent memory for an individual team, as they landed Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson in one fell swoop. It's still hard to believe that Jalen fell as far down the draft order as he did. He had NBA pedigree and an unbelievable record of winning at every level. How is he so overlooked? Well, many experts thought that Jalen's game wouldn't translate well to the league. By NBA standards, he was undersized and unathletic, expected to be a liability on defense, and nothing more than a career backup. But, per usual, the experts were wrong. Brunson's first season in the NBA was pretty uneventful. He was buried on the depth chart behind 2 lottery picks in Dennis Smith Jr. and Luka Doncic. So that was to be expected. But that doesn't mean he wasn't taking advantage of every opportunity he got. Like in February, when he started in place of Luka and put up 22 points, a career high at the time, which he went on to beat in March when he dropped 34 points on the Spurs. By the end of the season, he had established himself as the Mavs' 6th man and proved that they could lean on him when Luka needed a break. But then Jalen faced the first major setback of his career. A little over halfway through his second season, he had to get shoulder surgery to repair a torn labrum and would miss the remainder of the year. All the groundwork he had put in was now in jeopardy. It's impossible to know how a player will recover from a major injury, and a shoulder injury can be devastating for basketball players. But Brunson was used to adversity, and he came back from injury better than ever.
Shoulders 100%. I'm ready to go. Plain and simple.
He set career highs across the board in his third year, averaging 12.6 points, 3.5 assists, and 3.4 rebounds per game, and finished 4th in the 6th Man of the Year voting. The Mavs also finished 5th in the West that year, which meant Brunson would get his first taste of the playoffs. And to say his first playoff series went poorly would be an understatement. The Mavericks lost in 7 games. And Brunson's numbers went down in every category from the regular season. But his most glaring statistic was his abysmal plus-minus of minus 56. After that, the Mavs decided not to offer Brunson a contract extension. They did, however, pick up the team option that brought him back to Dallas for a 4th year. And the Mavs would live to regret not extending Jalen after that 3rd season when his value was low. Because in year 4, he became a star. Brunson used that bad playoff series as motivation and came back a man possessed. He was finally named a starter to start the 2021-22 season, and that quickly paid off for Dallas.
There was a period where Luka went out and I started to start, and I was playing really well. I think I was averaging like 20 and like 6 maybe, whatever.
Jalen averaged 16.3 points, 4.8 assists, and 3.9 rebounds during the regular season, and the Mavs finished 4th in the West. And while the regular season numbers were nice, Brunson was after redemption in the playoffs, and he got it in spades. In the first round against the Jazz, Luka missed the first 3 games to injury, and Brunson carried the Mavs. They lost Game 1, but in Game 2, Jalen exploded for 41 points, 5 assists.
41 points in your first ever playoffs as a starter in your second game, right? And niggas still don't try to like run his back. Like, you're not trying to run his back. You're not trying to say, yo, let's see if we could work something out here. All right.
And 8 rebounds in a 110-104 win.
The second game, I think he had like 45, something like that. I was really impressed. I was just on the bench watching, like, wow, this guy's amazing.
He then followed that up with a 31-point, 6-assist performance in Game 3 for another win. So, without Luka, Dallas was leading the series 2-1.
When people counted us out because Luka was out, it kind of like lit a fire in all of us. I mean, you see stuff like that, like the chatter, it's impossible not to see. And then guys, we send it to each other, we're like, yo, like, people don't think like we're capable. And obviously, once Luka came back, that it was all said and done.
Doncic returned for Game 4, and the Mavs went on to win the series in 6 games. But Brunson's numbers were beyond impressive, averaging 27.8 points, 4.2 assists, and 4.8 rebounds for the series. Then, in the second round against the Suns, he was fantastic again. Dallas won the series in 7 games, and Jalen averaged 18.7 points. Just a year after being bounced in the first round, and perhaps the worst stretch of basketball in Brunson's career, he helped lead the Mavs to the conference finals. And while they would go on to lose against the eventual champion Golden State Warriors, Brunson proved to the world that he was for real. And even more importantly, his price went up. It was clear that Jalen was a star, and for the Mavericks, it was too late.
I really did want to stay in Dallas. Before my 4th season in Dallas, my last season in Dallas, we tried to extend our contract, whatever we can get. The most we can get was like 4 years and $55 million. And so obviously we wanted to do that. I wanted to stay there. I thought I would be there for a long time, and I liked my role there. Trade deadline comes, I'm not getting extended, I'm probably gonna get traded. The way I've been playing, like, there's just like,
well, right?
I'm playing somewhat decent.
After years of being on the team, Dallas's front office failed to evaluate his value, and they couldn't.
I ain't gonna lie, that Dallas front office, like, they good again the trade. They not trades. They good again like the draft picks, right? But like, bro, when it comes to handling your all-stars or players with superstar quality, like, you guys suck. Like, I'm gonna say, you guys are ass.
Couldn't afford him anymore. plenty of teams were willing to pay for Brunson's services, but one team quickly emerged as the obvious destination for him. The New York Knicks had recently hired his father, Rick, as an assistant coach, and the team president, Leon Rose, was his former agent. So, after nailing out the details on a 4-year, $104 million contract, Jalen was headed back to the locker room he grew up in as a kid. He was a New York Knick, a move that proved to be the best the Knicks made in a very long time.
This is you as a kid walking around the Garden in a Knicks jersey, and now you're playing for the Knicks and kids come to the Garden wearing your jersey. That's cool.
That's I'm not gonna lie, that's aura, man. That's actually like, wow. Those type of stories, you would think they're scripted, how movie well that could fit. That could fit in a movie or a documentary, bro. Like, that's insane.
It says a lot about when a player is just comfortable. Yeah. Right? My dad's an assistant coach. My 2 best friends play with me. It says a lot too about you have your system, your support group around you. You know, it allows you to be
great. When he was in Chicago, when my dad was on staff there, and so he's the same coach, he's the same motivator as he is now. And so to actually be able to play for him is special. It's coming full circle. And so nothing's really surprising me, but I'm up for a challenge.
And as the primary ball handler and focal point of the offense, he elevated the players around him, like Julius Randle.
But he just made the game a million times easier for me. A million times. Like, I didn't have to work to every single time down the possession. And P, you know how that is, bro. Like, but JB just made the game so much easier.
In his first year with the Knicks, Brunson set career highs with 24 points and 6.2 assists per game. But even more importantly, the Knicks were playing winning basketball again. After finishing 11th in the East the previous year, they jumped to 5th.
Damn.
And their offensive...
Wait, let me see.
Again. After finishing 11th in the East the previous year, they jumped to...
5th and 35. They got 47 wins and... I think it's that 35 losses, I guess 35 losses. Tough.
To 5th, and their offensive rating improved from 22nd in the league.
Damn! Who was that?
This year, they jumped to 5th, and their offensive rating improved from 22nd in the league to 3rd. It was night and day. And in the playoffs that year, Brunson was special. He led the Knicks to their first playoff series win since 2012. As they beat the Cavs in the first round 4-1. And Jalen led all scorers with 24 points per game. They went on to lose in the conference semifinals against the Miami Heat, but it was no fault of Jalen Brunson. He put together several impressive performances, including an insane 41 points in their Game 6 elimination game. He again led this series in scoring, averaging 31 points per game. Despite the loss, basketball was being restored in New York, and it was all thanks to an undersized, unathletic second-round pick.
I'm a guy who works hard, will do anything it takes to win, sacrifice a lot. I don't want to come here and...
Facts. Hey, man, I'm the same way, man. I sacrifice a lot. Yo, you got to sacrifice a lot. You got to sacrifice your own time. You got to take risks to get where you want to be in life, bro. Like, real spill.
Expect everything from everyone here on this team. I want to earn it. I want to earn that respect. I want them to see that this is what I'm about. X's and O's, all that stuff, yeah, that's basketball, but like the things that can help us on the court to create better chemistry, it's going to help us.
But when the 23-24 season rolled around, Brunson and the Knicks had to prove that this wasn't just a one-off. They not only had to back up the previous year, they needed to build on it. So, what did Brunson do? He did what he always does, and answered the call. He set career highs yet again, averaging 28.7 points and 6.7 assists per game.
JB.
He did it by way of some incredible performances, like when he went for a career-high 61 points against the Spurs.
Damn.
Or when he tied the NBA record for the most threes in a game without a miss, with 9 against the Suns.
It's good! A 50-point night for Jalen Brunson, and he's 9 of 9 from 3.
He also became the 4th Knick ever to score 40 or more points in back-to-back games, and tied the Knicks' 30-point game record for a single season with 36. On top of that, for the first time in his career, he was named an All-Star, and stood in Madison Square Garden with thousands of fans chanting MVP.
I mean,
Nigga gonna make me cry, man. Chill, man. I know what it is, man, to have a journey like that, man.
I got nothing to say. I got nothing to say.
Fully realizing what he meant to the city, and that the work he put in was all worth it. The season was historic for Brunson, but it was also huge for the Knicks, who finished second in the East. And for all their accomplishments, what were they given?
Crazy.
A brutal first-round playoff matchup with the 76ers, who just got Joel Embiid back from injury. Not to mention, Julius Randle had been injured during the regular season and ruled out for the year. But despite many thinking the Knicks would lose the series, they proved why they were the second seed in the East. And, well, they also had Jalen Brunson. At the start of the series, Brunson played well, scoring 22, 24, and 39 points respectively. But when it came time to close out the Sixers in 6 games, he went nuclear, doing something we haven't seen in the playoffs since Michael Jordan. For the last 3 games of the series, Brunson had 3 consecutive 40-plus points.
God damn! He's frying these niggas.
Games, reaching a level of play nobody could have seen coming. But unfortunately for the Knicks, what they couldn't see coming was the slew of injuries that hit them during their second-round series against the Pacers. In Game 1, the Knicks pulled out a win thanks to another 40-plus point game from Jalen Brunson. He became just the 4th player ever to have 4 straight 40-plus point playoff games. But New York lost center Mitchell Robinson early in the game to a fractured ankle. Then in Game 2, the Knicks once again found a way to win.
You see, that's the Pacers black magic. I keep calling them the Pacers. The Pacers black magic, bro. That's how you know, bro. You can't even speak ill on their name. They're gonna make your tongue start doing different stuff. Pause. Your tongue will start moving funny.
But OG Anunoby picked up a hamstring injury that kept him out for pretty much the remainder of the series. With the injuries piling up, the Pacers took the next 2 games at home. But Brunson stepped up to stop the bleeding with a 44-point Game 5. This, however, was the Knicks' final stand. They lost the next 2 games with Josh Hart getting hurt in Game 6, and then Brunson himself,
that's that Pacers black magic, bro,
fracturing his left hand in Game 7. But
Pacers
that shouldn't take away
magic,
from the season
bro.
he had.
The amount of times I hear from people or coaches or whatever, like, oh, you're playing great, like, don't worry about it. I'm just, in my head, I'm like, yeah, maybe, but I know I could be playing better.
Tired is for the weak, mentally strong, go.
Jalen Brunson has almost single-handedly revived one of the biggest franchises in the NBA, shining in a city where the lights have proved to be too bright for so many others. And if history tells us anything, he'll be back for more next year, and he'll be better than ever. Thanks for watching Nonstop. And hey, if you like this video, then we've got another one for you right here. See you.
Shit, like, I want to see if he could get the Knicks a chip. If he gets the Knicks a chip, right, he's a legend. He's an automatic. That makes him automatically an NBA legend. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care what your granny have to say. I don't care what your mama have to say, nigga. He's automatically an NBA legend if he gets the Knicks a chip. But let's see. Let's see. Shout out to JB, maybe.
Next time.
What time is this? What time is this?